всем привет. И у нас Warframe Tenno потому дать и через 30 минут и 4 минуты ночи. Это все настроить. Настроимся. PM 12:30, час, 2, 3, 4, 5. Так. По фрейме придумать. Протокол. Нет. И или парадокс. Welcome Tenno Live начинается аж в 5 p.m. 12. А времени? Ну это до хрена времени. Twitch канал скин. Три ссылки привязал. Смотрим, пока ничего не происходит. Joining game during for a special. наушнички прикольные. Сначала всем вкусим пиво, ждем Теннокон, но он будет аж 12 часов ночи. Теннолип имеется в виду. Теннолип. А Теннокон вот скоро начинаем. 20 минут. Паракетир. Лотус. Бойный синтез. Идем в барчик. Оба, Войд. Идем за этой хренью. Умброформа. Надо варфа другого взять. Да не. Дальше. Ронен.
Do you remember the old war, operator? Order seems to have misplaced those memories.
Панча. Какой? Продавар, ой. Давай страдавай. DJ Nintendo Station FM. Beat Saber. Warframe car. To the action. In a 12 on Kiev and Moscow and 5 o'clock on PM. Welcome. Are you ready to the Terracon? Прайм прилетел, блин.
You said the same thing I told ya. My eyes are clear, there's no secret. I wanna know, was it serious? I need it clear, my best friend. Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I know I told you it's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling. I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something. I keep my time in a pocket. I wanna find a new keeper. I like the way it's mysterious. I think I found my own way. Is it easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders? I know I told you it's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling. I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something. Trying to hold my feeling, I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something.
Здесь не тонакон.
We wanted to run, we wanted to fall.
together. Back then our world seemed so clear. We grew so bright, shimmering lights around us. We'd take flight into the sky. How many worlds would you cross to use the light that's right in front of you? There is no light on the other side. I say, look straight ahead and you will see. You will see. You will see. How many worlds would you cross to use the light that's right in front of you? There is no light on the other side. I say, look straight ahead and you will see. Take my hand, I'll lead you on into the stars. We'll ride away from all the wars. Close the doors and disappear again. And I don't know how many times I've said that this is not the end, and we will make it out of here alive. Oh, alive. Alive. Oh, alive. Alive. How many worlds would you cross to use the light that's right in front of you? There is no light on the other side. I say, look straight ahead and you will see. You will see. You will see. How many worlds would you cross to use the light that's right in front of you? There is no light on the other side. I say, look straight ahead and you will see. How many worlds would you cross to use the light that's right in front of you? There is no light on the other side. I say, look straight ahead and you will see. You will see.
Rising with each beat that the music is bringing, we are flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in. Welcome, all my heart, soul full. I'm devoting myself to the night. There's no motive. We're just listening. We're retesting. Hearts of fire, we will dance the night. Young and free, we will feel the release. Eyes with light, we will see the dawn. We will stay till the picture falls. We stay when the music We lose ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know.
Так. Так, Крис. Нет. Смотрим Tenno. Через 8 минут. Привет. Дела? Ну как дела? Ну, Крис, ну как могут быть дела? Уборка. Сейчас готовимся к Tenno. Ну, нормально. Не знаю. Пока нормально. Не знаю, Крис, что тебе сказать. Как могут быть дела? Нормально вроде бы, я знаю. Вроде бы нормально. Вроде бы нормально. Так. Прикольная музыка, прикольно. На Твиче уже через 7 минут. Через 7 минут будет трансляция. Если у тебя не созданный аккаунт, создай себе аккаунт резко. Подключи его к Твичу и получишь Титанию Prime. Хорошо? Убирай тогда. Я не знаю, я видеокартами не интересуюсь, Крис. Я тебе не подскажу, потому что я не интересуюсь видяхами. Райдера спроси. Мейсона спроси. Я видяхами перестал интересоваться с того момента, когда я Соньку купил себе. Видяха... Если бы я покупал видяху, я покупал бы по цене. Чтоб меня устраивало. 4-гиговую какую-то бы брал бы. Или 6-гиговую. Я не беру. Я бы никогда не покупал вот такую дорогую видяху. Потому что для такой дорогой видяхи надо комп покупать. Соответственно, весь другой. Блок питания, материнку, провод. Все надо апгрейдить. Там надо смотреть в комплекте, в совокупности с своим компом. Там же не дело в одной видяхе, понимаешь? Опять 25. У нас опять тот же самый разговор, Крис. Зависит от денег, которые ты планируешь потратить. И зависит... Это все от комплектации зависит. И видяха покупается просто от балды. А смотрится, какой у тебя компьютер, чтобы оно все было в совместимости, в комплекте. Ты купишь здоровую видяху, тебе Коля на стриме 2 дня назад что говорил? Ты купишь видяху, которая проц не будет тянуть, бля. Или блок питания не будет тянуть. Или оперативки не будет хватать. Это ж не то, что все купил себе и все. Поставил, и оно работает. Надо смотреть. Тебе процессор нужно покупать, а не видяху. У тебя видяха и так 4-гиговая. У тебя разве проблема в видяхе? Сколько мне известно. Тебе надо под твой сокет, под твою мать, процессор улучшить и оперативки добавить. Если у тебя видяха, ты точно скажи модель, какая у тебя видяха. 4-гиговая, какая у тебя там мощность у нее? Что у тебя там за 4-гиговая видяха? Зачем ты вообще думаешь о видяхе, если тебе нужен процессор вообще? 8-ядерный процессор тебе нужен. Ну, если материнка, 8-ядерный процессор и оперативка. Если... Ну, я понимаю, что у тебя 4-гиговая видяха стоит в компе. Но я не понимаю, в чем-то проблема вообще. Непонятно, Крис. Понятно. Нет, это ничего не говорит. Я модели видях не знаю на память. Надо смотреть параметры. Шина какая у нее частота памяти, частота процессора, какая у нее битность, сколько у нее битность, какая у нее шина. Я модели видяхи, я ж тебе не магазин компьютерный, который у меня этот, видяхи я продаю, блин. Такие странные. Я что, на память знаю все комплектующие? 945 GTX i5. Так я тебе не для себя говорю, я для тебя говорю, чтобы ты должен знать, ты должен в этом разбираться, интересоваться, а не я. Это же не мне нужно. Это такие странные, блин. Вы же не мне покупаете, вы же себе это покупаете. Интересуйтесь, смотрите видео в интернете. Смотрите цены, сравнивайте. Смотри, какой у тебя сокет под материнку, какой тебе процессор нужен. Ты просто, ну, вот думаешь, что, типа, наверное, что ты хочешь полностью, типа, вообще с нуля новый комп взять. А что ты со своим старым будешь делать? Если покупать новый полностью комп, он тебе выйдет дорого очень. А если тебе просто сделать апгрейд, там, процессора, оперативки-то, ну тебе в любом случае нужно покупать материнку, если ты просто будешь менять. Оно все, блин, оно все взаимосвязано. Там материнка под мощную видяху, под процессор нужно, блин, блок питания, блин, брать 600-650 ваттный. Там все, тебе надо идти консультироваться с людьми, которые компы собирают, а не со мной. Я ж компы не собираю. У меня вот есть друг Максим, вот у него свой магазин компьютерный. Он собирает компы, ремонтирует компы, ноутбуки ремонтирует и так далее. Я к нему прихожу и говорю: Макс, сколько это будет стоить, бля? Сколько стоит такая? А сколько стоит такая материнка? Сколько такая? Надо разбираться в ценах, надо разбираться в комплектующих. Смотреть, что тебе подходит, сколько у тебя денег есть, сколько ты готов потратить и так далее. Это же не все так просто. Себе взял от балды и говоришь: а я себе куплю Соньку, а я себе куплю Xbox. А нету. А ладно, иду куплю видяху. А какую видяху? Блин, Крис, ну это так со стороны просто глупо смотрится.
The day has begun!
Oh my god, it's happening!
So it is official. There's no turning back now. You have made it safely to TennoCon 2022. This is the kickoff of the biggest day for Warframe fans. And we're starting it live right now. This is live. We'll see what chat's up to soon. But for the kickoff of today's Tenno Live, TennoCon, Tenno everything for Warframe, my name's Rebecca Ford, and I'll be walking you through the next 30 minutes to give you a little bit of a look into what we're going to be doing today. And I'm joined by none other than...
It's me, it's Megan Everett. Great to see you all. I can see you in chat. You all look great. You're excited. We're excited. let's just really quickly address, we're obviously not in our usual streaming studio. You know, this is our 7th year doing TennoCon, which is incredible. Started off a physical event, turned into a digital event in our little studio. And this year we decided to kind of go a little bit bigger, even though it's still digital. We now have a brand new stage that we're on.
Yeah, we have a stage that we made for this year. Not us personally, an amazing team.
I mean,
or maybe it was us.
Maybe
I don't
it was
know.
us.
We don't know.
We're pretty strong.
We don't know. We don't remember. But we are excited to have this. We had ambitions, you know, of doing a couple things, maybe having some staff here, but for safety, we didn't. So it's just us with the AV crew, our event crew, and everyone in Twitch chat. So welcome to the TennoCon 2022 stage. We are here, and we're kicking things off. Now, before we get really started into things, I just wanted to remind everyone that, you know, we've been making this game for so long. Our team is made up of people from all over the world, many of which who come from Ukraine, which, as you know, has an ongoing humanitarian crisis. So we just wanted to kick things off with an opportunity for the community to help out. If you do !donate UA in chat, in Twitch chat, you can find yourself a link if you feel like giving something towards one of the many causes there to help. We would
говорят, помогите
Ukraine.
Украине
Anything
деньгами.
that helps, but just a moment to acknowledge that our team is indeed an international team of lovely human beings, and many of them are affected by this humanitarian crisis. So starting off to share that little note, and then we also will go right into another bit of donation information.
Yes, so 7th year doing TennoCon, and we have been fortunate enough to support a charity each year, one that is close to our heart. Obviously, we have a lot of people at DE, and a lot of people are affected by a lot of different things. And this year, I'm so grateful to say that we are supporting Inspire. And they have sent over just a little video to tell you guys kind of what they're about, and also just to say hi. So let's check it out.
Welcome to TennoCon 2022. My name is Sienna Vautour, and I'm the Communications and Marketing Coordinator here at Inspire. This is such an exciting partnership, and we know that it'll ignite creativity and passion for digital learning in Indigenous students across Canada. Inspire is an Indigenous national charity that invests in the education of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people by providing bursaries, scholarships, and programming. For Indigenous students, a lack of funding is one of the biggest barriers to completing their post-secondary education. Building Brighter Futures is our scholarship and bursaries program, where we supply qualified applicants with funding to help with school-related costs. Rivers to Success is free programming we offer to every Indigenous student, whether they receive funding from Inspire or not. No matter where they are in their educational journey, Rivers to Success will support students along the way with access to Indigenous resources, mentors, and career guidance. When people give to Inspire, they know that their generosity is getting directly to students. We are encouraged to see how the resilience, ingenuity, and strength of Indigenous students have enabled them to succeed despite the many obstacles placed in their way. Thank you again for helping us fulfill this important mission. Have a great event, and if you want to learn more, please visit inspire.ca.
Thank you, Sienna, and everyone over at Inspire for sending that video. If you would like to donate to Inspire, you can do !donate in Twitch chat. I know they would love it, we would love it, and thank you so much for helping us help them.
Yeah, we'll be announcing our donation during Tenno Live, which is the end of TennoCon today, but we have a whole bunch of stuff to get through. Great stuff. The best stuff you'll ever watch, I'm sure. Or your money back. It's free. It's free. But yeah, we have a great show planned for you today. Partially pre-recorded, partially live. This part is live if you can't tell because it's going so perfectly. No nerves,
flawless.
no nothing.
Everything's great.
Is going. We're just very excited, and the road ahead is going to be filled with delights for those that want to watch the sound panel. That's right after this. We're going to be going into a pre-recorded panel that goes the sounds, the system. Marcus is hosting it this year with George, Eric, and Keith, and it'll be taking you through the behind-the-scenes looks of everything pertaining to Warframe sound creation.
New War, Angels Airmen, and you're going to get your first sneak peek of Duviri soundtrack. I couldn't even say the word. I was like, wait, can I even say it? Of course I can say it.
We've been typing it only because we're still working remotely, so saying
secrets.
Duviri out loud is that's how you pronounce it, by the way.
Duviri. And then
Do not listen to us.
Then after the sound panel, we go into a live segment. So you'll be brought back to this stage, this ambiance with myself. I am hosting, and I'm going to be joined by the incredible Pablo, Kaz, and Matt. And we're going to dive into a whole bunch of questions that were curated from previous dev streams. I've creeped some Twitters, stuff like that, grabbed some questions, and there will be an opportunity near the end of that segment for live chat questions. So if you have anything brewing...
What is live chat saying right now?
What is live chat? I see emotes, which I always love.
I got some goldfish. Someone has snacks.
Oh,
That's good.
yeah, tell us your
That's
snack.
Good. !Tenno Live.
I love it.
We got a lot of Clem.
Of course.
Spoiler alert? Kind of.
There are some spoilers. I mean, if you haven't played the new war, heavy spoilers. Will be, some teases. We're going to tease a little bit of what you can expect for Tenno Live, maybe. But each of the panels is going to kind of take a look back at the new war, because that's kind of the last obvious thing you saw from Tenno Live last year was the new war. So we're going to dive back into that a little bit, talk about sound, talk about mocap, and some really awesome concept art. We're going to talk about Duviri, of course. Teasers for that, getting excited for that, because that is also in the art panel as well.
Yes, this is a pre-recorded panel, and it takes you through a lot of the art deep dives, some never-before-seen reveals with our art team, things we've been working on. This pre-recorded panel will delight you right after the live Q&A, and it's going to be great. It has Danielle hosting it, Jeff, Carrie, and Eric are on it, and, maybe a special guest.
Maybe a special guest. You want to watch, beginning to end, as one would. And then after that is the community art show, and this is hosted by Helen and Skyers. I'm so excited for this. This is where, our hundreds of submissions from fan art all over the world came in, and, selected a few, and we're going to show them all off. We're also going to show dojos. We've integrated the dojo segment into it, so we're really celebrating, in-game art that is our incredible dojos, and then outside art with digital art, cosplay props. Sorry, I hit my mic.
Fine, play it up. It's cool. Cosplay, dojo.
It's going to be really exciting, so definitely don't miss that. And then the big one.
Tenno Live 2022, this is our keynote finale to TennoCon. This is where we're going to have just so I don't know if we're going to be able to fit it all in an hour, but we're going to try. So we have a lot to cover. This is where you're going to learn all about the future of Warframe. We're going to have myself, Megan, I'm thinking in terms of chair organization, Scott, Steve, Jeff Sheldon will be up here on stage, and we'll be talking Warframe. So if you're sitting waiting for the biggest news of the day and our live show, that'll be tonight, but there's so much to lead up to it that you don't want to miss. And maybe, you want to be a little motivated. You want to get some free stuff, so to speak. So if all of these panels sound great to you, just tune in and enjoy. But if you want a little something to sweeten the deal, find yourself bringing home a cosmetic or a perhaps new weapon, this could be yours. But Megan, tell me, how do they get it?
You can get it just for simply watching. Make sure you're linked up. If you've been receiving drops, for our dev streams, prime times, or streams this year, you do not need to relink. You are good to go. But we have some really awesome drops. So this is the Veracruz Warfan, and then also the Renalis Sugase, which is attached to it. That's going to be the TennoCon drop. So it's active right now until...
Can we confirm it's active right now? I'm going to look in chat and see if people are saying drops progress.
Drops. Can I get a drops yeah in chat?
Can we get a drops in chat?
Can I get a drops in chat? I see bunches of yeses.
Oh, sweet. Okay, that's good news. This is called live. I don't even know. It's called something.
Live QA. So yes, this is going to be the drop for the day, just for watching for 30 minutes. And then Tenno Live switches over, and you're going to get yourself a Titania Prime for watching Tenno Live for 30 minutes. And if that doesn't entice you enough, live, in-game right now, in the market, for 1 credit.
A single credit.
1 single credit is the Stranger's Hood. We revealed this
за один
I think in our
кредит
Summer
можно
Games
купить
Fest video.
скин.
So we've been teasing about this, and we decided to, you know what, self-serve. Why don't you just walk on over to the market and get it yourself? So on all platforms right now, it started at 12:30. It's going to be live for 48 hours, so there's a little...
We can get it then.
We can get it.
I can go back. It's 48 hours, because otherwise...
I can just get... no, I'm just kidding. For 48 hours, it's going to be in the market. It is a operator, Strifter Cosmetic. If you haven't completed the new war or Second Dream, and you don't know who those people are, perhaps, you will still have it in your inventory until you complete those quests.
It's not going anywhere. It'll be there, dormant, waiting for the graceful touch of the pro gamer.
Speaking of pro gamer, wouldn't it be nice to have...
I am here, you're right.
We're built different.
I am built different.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a custom-built PC?
I would love that.
I would love that.
Oh, we have a giveaway. Yes.
We have a giveaway.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I thought you were offering me a computer. No, our friends at WeGame have made this Warframe-themed PC that we'll be giving away to our first lucky winner of the day.
The Twitch picker has all the power. They are going to send this to us, and then we'll ship it to you, so it might take a hot minute to get to you, but we are just going to run the Twitch picker, and a lucky Twitch winner is going to win a WeGame PC.
And here is where we get the ultimate test, the competitive nature of whose eyes are better, Megan
my
or
contact's
Rebecca.
Strong
Who has the better eye prescription? Oh, good Lord.
I think I see it.
I see a J.
J. Oh no.
Just too Chucky?
Charlie?
Checky, just 2 Checky. You have won. I am cheating. Dean is in my ear. Scandal number 1. at
Sabotage!
No, that is the winner. Just 2 Checky. You have won this amazing PC. But this is a bit of a complicated giveaway because you can't just tell us your Warframe alias. You actually need to know where you live.
Of course.
But don't just tell anyone. Just DM our Warframe Twitch channel that you're walking on right. Walking? Are you walking? Give us a bit of info there, and one of our team members will reach out to you to arrange the delivery of the PC that you just won.
Oh, I guess I could zoom in.
Oh, I
Just
guess
too
we-
checky.
just-
Yeah,
we can look at our
right,
phones.
though.
Like
you had
I
Dean.
said, I had Dean
You
in
had
my
Dean.
ear. I mean, well, that's scandal number 1.
Congratulations to you. We do have more giveaways later on during Tenno Live. There might be some physical
That was
stuff.
our warm-up one.
That was warm-up.
That was a test.
I
We
give
did
it a 7
lot.
out of 10.
I would say that's like a 7 out of 10 test, but nevertheless.
7 out of 10. We
Oh,
have
the
much
winner
more in
would-
store.
yeah, the winner would probably say 10 out of 10 test.
They got 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was our first giveaway. The test went well. We have lots to do.
Lots to do.
We want to see how chat's doing though more than.
Yeah, let's check in with chat. Chat, what are your snacks? Where are you watching from? I'm
wanna-
always so curious.
Yeah, we want to see what people are excited for today. We haven't streamed in a while. At least we haven't streamed together in a while. So we're just going to get back into the swing of things and see what chat has to say. People are watching from France.
Oh,
Living
bonjour.
Yeah, if you do get the Drifter or the Stranger's hood, rather, put it on, share a screenshot with us. We'd be curious to see your fashion with it. I'm not going to say fashion frame because that would be
inaccurate.
technically incorrect, which would be quite embarrassing. Turkey, Portugal,
Michigan.
I'm close
Right
to
around
it.
the corner.
Yeah. I don't see the Twitch drops. Refresh, check all the
Oh,
settings.
that's Oni Shinobi. I know you. Yeah, just refresh. Woo! Just refresh. You should see it. Click your little icon in the top right, and you should see some drop progress.
Greetings from Poland. Dzień dobry.
Oh, dzień dobry.
Let's see how many.
Oh, we got chips in Poland. Love
Interesting.
chips. Australia.
Brazil. Very nice.
Oh, Germany.
Where else is everyone watching from?
South America. Ontario. Love Ontario. Boston.
Watching from Washington. Oh man, in the Bronx.
The Bronx. Popping from the Bronx.
All right, what are people most excited for? Let's see what's going on in chat. Hello from India. Hello, Chile.
Chile.
I think I'm from the Philippines. You're not the only one from the Philippines. No way.
No.
Oh, what's this? Oh, from France, from England, Sweden.
Everyone, all over the place.
Horse, all capitals.
Oh, is that glue gun?
Yeah, that's good.
Speaking of horse, Tenno Live. We're gonna have a live Duviri Paradox.
We are bringing a horse
gameplay.
on this stage.
We're bringing a horse.
The
This-
hardest part of building the stage
That's
was
why we
making
built a
sure
stage.
it could fit a horse.
Could fit a horse.
But we did. We managed to do that.
Yeah, so that's going to be part of Tenno Live. There's a lot
There's
more
more.
in store for Tenno Live. That is just kind of a sprinkle on the cupcake
Yeah.
of what Tenno Live is going to be.
Yeah, and if you've never, is it your first Tenno Live chat? Tell me.
Is it your 7th? Do you have your badge?
Yes. Well, maybe, so let's see if it's people's first Tenno Lives. Maybe people recognize things on the stage. I think there's one thing that stands out as very obvious that might, be very relevant.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Also true.
Merch!
This was on my chair, and I'm very excited to have it. Is
Merch.
it for me?
I kind of wanted it. I think Dean actually called it. I'm not going to lie.
All right.
Or maybe it's Julius.
Someone
I'm
else
not
has
sure.
dibs on this, but we do have some new merch launching today as well. So if you wanted to show your Warframe merch support, we have an incredible amount of new things, including a Floof Desert Skate and a
A
Bolarola.
Bolarola. We got floofs, we got t-shirts, we got a lamp, we got a whole bunch of new merch for you to check out if that is your
Oh,
pick.
he's got a little tooth.
And a new statue, which is very exciting.
Oh, yes. Do these ones come with the tags that have their personalities?
Yes.
Oh, cute. Oh,
Little Beanie Baby moment.
yes, that is adorable. So you might get a floof that is, afraid of the dark, or you might get one that,
Oh,
uses viral only builds. We'll never know.
we'll never know.
We'll never know until you tell us.
We'll never know.
Oh, someone's watching.
Canada.
Canada. TennoCon number 4 for me.
Oh, welcome.
Nice.
Obviously, we wish we could be doing a physical event again. We, to kind of backstory of TennoCon, Tenno Live, we start planning this obviously very early.
We sure do.
And we have to make that call. Is it going to be digital? Is it going to be physical? Because there's a lot of prep both ways. And with how everything was going at the beginning of the year, we just kind of said, let's just make it digital. Let's just call it. And we were going to have a DE presence here, and unfortunately we also had to cancel that as well just because of what's going on. But we're back with a digital event.
Is this the part of the stream where we talk about all the things that have happened in the past 10 hours, or will people not believe us?
Would you like to know what we've experienced?
It's 8 p.m. We're getting ready. The build's ready for our live demo because, as you know, we do a live gameplay demo, which is what we're ending the show with this year. and all of a sudden the internet stops working. Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Rogers did go down last Friday for almost 24 hours, so we're thinking, has something horrible gone wrong? And sure enough, there was a hardware failure with our ISP, and we couldn't do anything for 6 hours the night before TennoCon. So but we pulled it together. Our IT team came up with some alts so we could, get connectivity by other means, and we managed to do some stuff, but it has been absolutely crazy TennoCon. I can't think of a time where we've had so many little things just outside of our control change the prep for TennoCon.
Yeah, I think that was one of the more frustrating things is like we've had issues before where like our own
that are
build
totally
doesn't work, totally our fault.
We love when we're at fault.
Yeah,
it's the best.
We can fix those.
It feels good when you fix your own problems, but when you're just at the mercy of, the actual hard line cut to your ISP, all those fun things. But we made it, and we're here, and hopefully everything is going well so far. We are encouraging people to get in game. Audio, visual sounds good. We're really getting ourselves in gear to kick off the,
Oh, a great question in chat about the DeViri Amphitheater. So that is going to go live at 5, basically when Tenno Live starts at 5 p.m. So if you're logging into the game, if you are a digital ticket holder and you have access to Barrow Katir, you're going to see the TennoCon relay, check out his wares, buy whatever you'd like. But the DeViri Amphitheater itself, which will also be on Earth, its own little node, will appear around 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and you are going to want to be in that amphitheater right away. Get your spot. You're going to get, probably roughly 20, 30 minutes to kind of run around, maybe take some screenshots. Tenno Live is going to be happening, so, you could run around in the DeViri Amphitheater, experience that, because it's going to be your first step into DeViri.
Yes, we're giving you a preview of what DeViri is going to bring, and for relative time, it's just over 4 hours from now. The DeViri Amphitheater will be live in-game on all platforms. So at that time, you're going to go to Earth, like Megan said, and it'll be there for you. But until then, you have lots to do. We have a resource booster that's live. We do.
There's a whole bunch of stuff in game that you can participate in. Obviously, you get your Stranger's Hood, but the DeViri Amphitheater is very important. You're going to want to be in there when Tenno Live starts, and especially when we're
doing the live gameplay demo. We have a fun, it's called Amphitheater, so I'm sure you can figure it out, but we have a very fun way of showing and getting an interactive component to our Tenno Live show, because we started doing this when COVID initially had us close up shop for the live event, and that was 2020, so that was 2 years ago. We did the Demos showcase rooms, and we're just bringing more of that energy to the live performance so you folks at home can actually feel like you're in a theater with everyone else. So we're very excited for that.
Yeah, I think the past couple of TennoCons we've done, a relay and also a relay experience.
And we've had some learnings from those.
Last year was a bit of a rough one.
we don't claim to be without flaw, but we try.
We are
real hard.
We are but human.
Yeah, but we have a lot of measures in place since last year to make sure that this is a day where we can work through any surprises as best we can, which will be, that's where the day goes from here, right? It's seeing what chat's been up to, seeing if people have any questions about things going on in game, while everyone's getting comfortable watching the panels, getting ready to, get their questions ready, get ready for that end show for Tenno Live, where we're really going to be taking you through the future of Warframe in the most exciting and mind-blowing ways possible. You're going to be treated to a full hour of what we've been up to, what has been going on with Warframe since the new war launched, what can you expect. All of these and more will be at the end of the show tonight. So really, and you know what, if you have to go, maybe you're going to get called it's Saturday, one of your friends has good weather and you got to go, I don't know, can't relate, but it'll be on YouTube after, so we'd love for you to be there, but there will of course be an upload after the show in case you missed it, so don't feel quite so bad if you miss out on a reveal, but we'd love to have you there live, especially for the in-game component. So update your game now, because
Я тебе уже неделю или две пытаюсь
объяснить. There's going to be, a couple teasers, like I mentioned, throughout the day on various panels that might come a bit more information during Tenno Live, so you'll want to kind of, pay attention, spot those. It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, and now it's like the point where, okay, we've given you all the information without actually telling you what we're going to show. So it's chat just like, come on,
I know,
get the show
it's very torturous. I apologize.
The drop is exclusive to the live event, so you will surely need to be there for the drop. But the information will be up on YouTube after. What else do we got going
Аня,
on? We got it.
привет.
Ooh, very good.
The amphitheater will be on Earth.
Это не Prime, надо
Expect
еще
to
одна.
Check it out there at 5 p.m. Eastern Time when Tenno Live starts.
Еще одна
The theater will be
Титания
there. You
нужна.
can log in and jump in there.
I see some speculation about the next Prime Warframe.
Very good.
Perhaps we'll have
О,
information
Next
on
Prime
that.
Warframe.
What else do we got? Let's
Tough
see what
to
chat's
say.
been up to. We're just looking down at our phones. This is like a real experience. It's like we're all in a room together where
I
we
know.
just sit and look at our
Just
phones.
hanging out, looking at you, chat. You look great.
Oh, we have some serious speculation on the next Prime.
How do I see the drop? If you've been watching, I've been sitting on the Warframe page, which is cool if you were before it starts. You might need to just refresh the stream, and it will pop up. Sometimes when you're just kind of idly sitting on the Twitch page, it needs a bit to propagate. Yes. So if you want to refresh, you should be able to see it. If not, you can, I believe it's click your icon in the top right and go to drops, and you should see it there.
Oh, I just see people guessing the Prime, and I'm reminded of some of the bingo cards people are making.
Oh, anyone got a bingo card?
Yeah, no bingos yet, I'm afraid. But given the energy in chat right now, it's probably time to give one of you a. Why don't we do a Prime Access?
Oh, some Garuda Prime
Let's
Access.
do Garuda Prime Access. We're
Last
going to give
chance,
away
baby.
a Garuda Prime Access because you may or may not know Garuda Prime Access leaves today.
I wonder why she would leave
I wonder
today.
why she would leave today.
That's so rude of her to leave.
I know.
During
that is her
TennoCon
way,
Tenno.
though. Rip your heart out and walk away. That's how. Oh, we have a winner, and the winner is none other
Carvico.
than.
Did I get
Damn,
it?
that was good. Is it good? Is it Carvico?
Dean, give me a thumbs up.
Oh, Carico. There's no V.
Dang it.
Oh, unfortunately, both of us must visit the
I am sad.
optometrist shortly after.
What was it, Carvico?
Carico has won Garuda Prime Access. This is yours. You have to message us on our Twitch page that you're watching right now to claim it. We just need to know what platform you're on and your username so we can hook you up with your Garuda Prime Access. You may have just won the last Garuda Prime Access we will give away.
Who knows? Maybe I'll do one on the Dev Live Q&A. Maybe. Who knows? But
Interesting.
maybe.
Interesting.
We'll see. I saw a question about what's the drop. It is the new Veracruz Warfan and Sugatra for watching TennoCon. And then Tenno Live is Titania Prime. You know, if you already have Titania Prime, that's great.
A free slot.
A free slot. What's wrong with a free slot, you know?
Маска,
Or you can
маска
have
за
two
один кредит в
Titanium
магазине
Primes.
можно будет.
Can't
I
feed
like
primes
that.
to your helmet though, so you know you'll just have to have her.
Stockpile it.
Maybe there's, you know, actually no, you can't feed primes to the helmet. Helmet Prime, maybe that's a reveal. Anyone have that on their bingo card?
Oh.
It's not real.
No, it's not real.
It's not real. I made it up.
Don't even get your
We got a GG's. Oh, people are being gracious to the winner of the Garuda Prime. That's lovely.
Oh, you guys are too kind.
Titania and Titania Beef. That's very clever. Say hello to the whole world. Hello to the whole world. You are here for TennoCon 2022. We can't believe the day has come. We have been planning this for so long, and we hope that you are going to enjoy the endless sources of information that follow our housekeeping here. And I think we've gone over the main points.
I think we got everything. We can really quickly recap what the day is going to be. So right after this, you're going to go into the Sounds of the System panel with Marcus, George, Eric, and Keith Power, the legend in the Warframe world for doing soundtrack. So you're going to experience that. It is a pre-recorded panel. They have some really great insight, like we mentioned, about New War, Angels of Zariman, and of course Duviri. Marcus actually plays a really fun game with them, which I won't spoil anything, but I was very impressed with their answers. So it's a very fun, little interactive. And then we go into the dev Q&A with myself. It will be live on this stage. I will be joined by Pablo, Kaz, and Matt. We have some perspective from game design, from weapons lead, from art director. So we got a whole bunch of different questions based on, again, the New War, Angels of Zariman, Duviri. Duviri one is obviously going to be...
Oh my God. Megan has an alarm set. She's done with me. She's
No,
like, that's my threshold.
Dean told me to make an alarm because we got to go. We got 1 minute left. This is the schedule. Live dev Q&A, and then of course the Art of Warframe panel. There's some juicy concepts in there, maybe a little bit of mocap, never before seen stuff. Community art show, Helen and Skyers will be incredible. And then of course Tenno Live 2022.
Yes, this is where we will have all the seats filled. You're probably wondering, who are these chairs for?
This
but maybe
guy.
you already know. Yeah, the floofs. We're not going to let Steve and the gang sit there because they're taken. But yes, we will be back with a full squad at 5 p.m. here for Tenno Live, where we will be doing the future of Warframe. You're going to learn and see the live gameplay demo. So I need to stop my sweaty palms immediately because
You're
no
gonna
pressure.
kill it.
We're
Kill it every
live
year.
gameplay. Nothing could go wrong.
No,
But
nothing
anyway,
will go wrong.
Let's roll on over now. Enjoy the sound panel. Thank you very much for tuning into housekeeping. This has been Rebecca and
Megan.
and we are going to go and let you enjoy the sound panel.
See you in a
We
bit.
won't keep you waiting.
Bye, guys. Hey, everybody. Megan here to let you know that by
Sounds
watching
of
this
the
year's show on
system.
Twitch, you're going to earn yourself some incredible free items
5
if you
PM
have
это
your
12
Warframe
часов
and
ночи,
Twitch
по-моему,
account
да?
linked. Watching TennoCon until 5 p.m. Eastern Time for 30 consecutive minutes will reward you with both the Bear Chris War
Это
fan
не про.
and the Renala Sugatra. But that's not all. Tune into Tenno Live between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another 30 consecutive minutes, and you're going to earn yourself a free Titania Prime. That's right, a free Prime Warframe. If you already have your Twitch account and your Warframe account linked and received drops before on Warframe streams, then you're all set. But if you've never linked your Warframe and Twitch account together, simply go on over to warframe.com/Twitch, log into your Warframe account, and follow the simple instructions to get set up. And that's it. Enjoy the show.
Wake up, Tenno. Pre-order today at store.warframe.com.
From Cetus. You do a good deed, I pay you for it.
Well, I think like that was the moment probably when we wanted to really lean in on what an environment could do for the game. And you know, you're going from smaller scenes like, you know, Grineer Asteroid and how that feels tight and contained, and then you go into Plains of Eidolon, the doors open up, and then there is a world above and beyond. And there's an awful lot of design that winds up going into it. So at that point, being able to run around in a video game on a large piece of terrain was, you know, not that novel, but it was novel to do within Warframe. So if there weren't the familiar Grineer Marines and some of the iconic bits and pieces of architecture and whatever we could wind up fitting into it, you know, like that's how you made it feel like you were within the Warframe universe. And we're exploring some brave new territory for us, which is a bit of an intimidating thing, but it worked out, which is great. I also come from an area of the province which people say is rocks and trees, rocks and trees, rocks and trees. So I knew the subject matter. The world building is kind of, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of it as much as we can do. And then after that, it's like trying to have a sense of locality within that space. So things that are like little local pockets and memorable bits. That is the moment where if you do systems level thinking, it becomes a whole. And that actually is the thing that the person experiences. I could talk about the hundreds of small things that go into that, the foliage, the terrain textures, how you make a tree, how you make water actually sit with atmosphere. Like even artistically as opposed to technically, like if you make a heavy use of value and saturation in one part over here, that can draw the attention of the entire level, which is not necessarily something we need. You know, we need to guide people from point A to point B to point C. If you use up all of those resources with the one cool thing over there, people make a beeline to it and they don't experience half of it. If you wind up having it pull apart in front of you consciously, your walk into it experience should not have you do that. You should feel like you were just in a world in Warframe that is new and different. Wow. So the fact that we actually did that, where people were able to open gates and still feel like they were in Warframe, that's probably the biggest thing.
Hey Tenno, Danny here. We're getting so much closer to unveiling some incredible surprises. Tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be opening up the Duviri Amphitheater orbiting Earth in-game. Join your fellow Tenno for an up-close and very unique experience during the Tenno Live presentation. As a special thank you for joining us for TennoCon today, for the next 48 hours, you can claim a special operator and drifter cosmetic, the Stranger's Hood. This exclusive cosmetic is available right now on all platforms in the in-game market for 1 credit. Be sure to log in and claim yours. Bye, Tenno.
Логин. Зайди, забери свою маску. Маску можно забрать.
Do you require something for a companion or pet? Of a person you wish to be rid of. Spouse? Enemy? Why, you bring them in the evening and expel them by morning, eh? Guarantee results.
Sons of the System.
This is by far the biggest group of students I have seen come to class. Thank you so much for rocking out to TennoCon 2022. My name is Gemma Laurel. I had the absolute privilege of voicing for Cephalon Melica. I can honestly say that the Warframe community is the best in video games, so have an awesome one and be great to each other.
Hi Tenno, I'm Maya Grant and I play Archimedean.
Voice Archimedean.
It was a pleasure to voice the character and I'm so grateful for you for playing. Thank you so much and have an amazing TennoCon. Goodbye for now.
If it isn't my favorite
Мейсон, привет.
I'm Brent
Это
McCall,
я твой
voice of
двоюродный
Cavallero.
брат.
And I hope your TennoCon is
Казахстана.
enjoyable. That's it, right? That's all I gotta say.
Помни с меня. Я шучу, Вань.
And will someone just give me a damn Kubro already? Is that too much to
Езжайте
ask?
ко мне.
Greetings, Tenno. So good to see all of you again.
Блин, это что за...
Hey guys, my name is Kara Volchak.
Тетя.
I voice Hombask. I just wanted to say
Тетенька,
hi and
блин.
let each and every one of you know how thrilled I am to be part of Warframe. Enjoy TennoCon 2022.
Hi, it's David Ottavino, voice of the husband in the Zariman ARG. Just making a quick video to
Это
say
эти,
happy
кто
TennoCon.
озвучивает в Заримане.
Please, someone help open this door. It's jammed and I have to pee. How long have I been trapped in this booth of anguish as the stench fills my nostrils because I wet my pants. Happy TennoCon, my angels.
Hey Tenno, my name is Capritano and I voice
Voice
Kira
of
in the
Kira?
Warframe ARG.
Это кто такая?
Some of you may have known her as Zeri-chan or Cephalon Fog.
Какая
I don't
Кира?
know, who cares? Anyways, I really appreciate you for finding all those logs and I really hope you have a
Какая
great
Кира?
TennoCon. Yeah?
Hey there, Tenno. I'm Calvin Joyle, the voice of Viso, or Vico,
Yes.
or Tico, depending on who you ask. The
Это
Warframe
Заримана,
community is
которая
genuinely
новые
one of the
голоса
kindest
или
gaming
какие?
communities I've ever encountered, and your sweet comments about Viso mean so much to me. Have a great TennoCon, or profit.
Hey, Tenno. This is Adam Bennett, the voice of Call 175.
О,
Wishing
175.
everyone watching a happy TennoCon, and from the bottom of my heart, thanks to all of you for your
Он
love.
где-то в этом, в кабаке сидит, знаешь, такой бухает.
It's me, Varcia. Remember me? Amiguitos, it's me, Gigi Saúl Guerrero. A big hello all the way from
Varcia?
Vancouver, Canada. Queridos Tennos, I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing time at TennoCon. Sending a big hello, and just like Varcia says, let's shake the walls. Ow!
Hi, I'm Davina Doyle, aka Captain Valaglarios.
Valaglarios.
So happy to be here with you today. Hope you're enjoying yourself.
Пес у нее
I
очки
have one thing to
здоровые.
say to you. Sisters below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow.
А, она
Where
эту
we're
песню
all bound
поет.
down in the
Dark
deep,
Below.
and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below.
Выпили на Cold Below.
Sleeping in the cold below.
А, это она поет.
Even though it's very hot here, obviously. Enjoy.
Joy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the TennoCon 2022 Sounds of the System panel. This is a pre-recorded panel, and my name is Marcus Kretz. I work here at Digital Extremes. I am a senior community coordinator, and for the next hour we'll be taking a deep dive into all things sound design, music, dialogue, and Warframe. Now this is a general spoiler alert for anyone who has been playing through Warframe. If you have not completed the main storyline
Spoiler
content
alert.
for Warframe yet, there will be heavy spoilers ahead, specifically for the new war quest
Spoiler
and for the
alert.
Angels of the Zariman update. So you have been warned, heavy spoilers ahead.
Это наша с
Now,
тобой
without
спойлер.
further ado,
Spoiler
I would
alert.
love to introduce the panelists that are joining me today. I'm very honored to be joined by three incredible people. First up, we have George Spanos, audio director for Warframe. George, how's it going?
Good, good. How is everyone doing?
Doing great, doing great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. We also have Eric Preston, lead sound designer.
Hello, happy to be here and happy to talk about the sounds of Warframe.
Yeah, we love it. Thanks for being here, Eric. And one of our favorite composers, Keith Power, thank you for joining us again this year. Great to have you.
Oh, so very happy to be here. Yeah, it's nice to see you guys.
Yeah, it's great. Honestly, it's been so long. I mean, this is the first time I've seen Eric and George in 2 years in person, so it's incredible how time has just flown by. And speaking of which, in terms of the audio team, operationally, are you guys still working from home, or have you been able to come back into the office at all?
It's still mostly from home. It's, we built a new sound studio, and so we've trying to, coming in now and then to kind of use it, and that, recording some Foley and doing some voice stuff and that kind of thing. But it's mostly from home right now, and hopefully soon-ish we'll get back in all together, because it'd be great to see the whole team day in and day out instead of over a screen or a camera. So.
Mm-hmm. Keith, I'm pretty sure you're still working from home, correct? That's your studio in the back there.
Well, I commute every day, and it's about a 30-second commute.
Right.
I walk from the house through my yard, and and then I'm here. So it's more of the same. I've been working from home for many years, and I'm gonna probably keep that up. I like it that way.
Nice. Yeah, that 30-second commute probably can't be beat. So no, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. Very nice. Well, it's been an incredible year for Warframe. Looking back, the amount that's been achieved in the past year really can't be overstated. But really, I have to start with going back to the new war. After 8 years of Warframe, it was the longest quest in Warframe history. It brought an incredible amount of work behind it, but it certainly had an incredible amount of love and work that went into it from the sound team especially. So, we touched on it briefly on last year's panel, but, for the sheer amount of dialogue that was recorded for the New War quest, was there any logistical challenges in terms of capturing just that much audio?
Yeah, it was a lot. Like it looking back on it now and thinking about it, actually I should have highlighted all the lines to see what the line count was. But it was a lot, and it was a lot of coordinating with all the different actors, and it was a lot to kind of get it all hooked up in the game and everything. So yeah, but in the end, you're so in the mindset of doing it. You're in this kind of the eye of the storm, and then you release it, and you're like, wow, and you take a look back, and you're like, wow, that was a lot of work that we put into that. So yeah, very, very proud of the team and what we were able to accomplish with that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it was just an insane amount of, because I think even before that, I can't even think of the second longest quest in reference to that. But the fact that the New War was, I think, on many first playthroughs was around 4 hours is just an incredible leap in terms of length.
And of course, you've got all the operator and drifter dialogue times 4, right? So you're here, you finish one, and then you're like, okay, we're done. It's like, well, no, you got to do that 3 more times. And, we, in the cinematics, we would have to time it out. So we had one actor who was kind of the lead, and then everything was timed out to his reads. So all the other actors would have to follow the timing and the pacing. Because, of course, when they do the animations, they just do one version, right? So all the mouths have to kind of move at the same speed. And, we a couple of our team members, Slater and Chris in particular, did a lot of finagling of dialogue lines to make sure they all lined up, choosing operator. We call them operator A, B, C, and D, testing them to make sure that they work. And then, making another choice and testing another cinematic, and does it line up? Is everything okay? So that was a lot of work. I distinctly remember that, even from a tech point of view, making sure that they switched properly based on player choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, incredible to have, like you said, 4 different contexts for both operator and for drifter across 4 different voices. Like what a challenge that must have been. Now, another moment from the newer quest as well that I've been dying to talk about. That was probably one of my favorites of the whole quest. And again, another spoiler warning for the New War. If you have not yet completed it, massive spoilers ahead. There's a moment towards the end of the quest where we finally see the man in the wall as, I guess I would say, a true void manifestation. literally a wall. And this moment of seeing the man on the wall in perhaps their true form, and there's that really haunting vocalization that comes out from them. It absolutely terrified me. I know it really resonated with fans as well. For that moment, was that something that years back, perhaps you'd always known that this form was going to come, and you always thought, oh, we know what voice we're going to use for that, or we know how that's going to sound, or is that something that organically came up during development?
We had no idea, but I have to say that the actor is among us right now. So.
What?
So
Yes.
you're hearing it here for the first time.
It was me.
Yes. It was Keith.
That was you, Keith?
No.
Oh.
No, it was me.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
Eric. Yeah, and Eric definitely speak to it. I think it took a few iterations to kind of figure out what we wanted to do because we didn't have that preconceived notion of what it should sound like. But man, you hit it out of the park, and it turned out awesome. But yeah.
I remember seeing the concept art, and I just found the concept art to be as terrifying as what it ended up being in game. And I was working on the sounds for that cinematic, and I started playing with some ideas. And sort of one of the earliest things that I tried was a walrus. So I had this pitch down walrus, and it had this really menacing kind of tone. And then it did a pitch drop, and a kind of like a minor pitch drop, and it felt really strange and big and scary. So that was kind of the basis for what ended up being that voice. So using that as a base, I overdubbed myself on it, hitting the same note as that walrus kind of hit, except adding words in. And then I layered it multiple times, so my own performance multiple times, pitched it down, added some effects and processing, and mixed it together, and that's what the kind of the final result was.
And it's cool too because we've got those words in there, right, that the writing team came up with that he says. And I don't know, has anyone kind of figured out what deciphered what it is? And I don't know if the community is they probably tried to pick it apart to kind of get those words and see.
There's been some very valiant attempts. I've heard some YouTube videos where they've pitched it up where you can really get close, but I can tell you that no one has found it yet.
I always thought it was, seriously, Eric is cool.
That's exactly it. That's what it was originally, but we had to change it.
Yeah. We got it there for sure. But it's
in all honesty, I think that's one of the best kind of endings and cinematics that we've done, sound design wise, musically, vocally, all of that stuff. It really came together really nicely. And also for being one of the last things that we tackled, right? Like I think, especially musically, as I recall, that was probably one of the last cinematics, those last couple that you and your team worked on, Keith. So, yeah, it turned out great though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Yeah, Eric was awesome.
Yeah.
Guys.
And I mean, I think that speaks to how great that audio is at the end. That to me, I thought it might have been something that's been cooking up for years, but to hear that it was something that had to be brought about almost in the 11th hour is pretty incredible. Look at where you guys are now. Could you imagine all those years ago thinking, who knows, down the road we'll be doing the score for a 4-hour quest. What might you say to your former self for that?
Yeah, it's like the movie version, right? It's up to 10 years in or 8 years in or so, and let's do the movie version of this.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
It's better than the movie. Better than
No, but it's true. It's kind of like it's taking a lot of the older ideas and building upon them and kind of bringing them together and kind of making it feel more fleshed out. And that's what I love about all the stuff that we've been doing, especially lately, is it's taking a lot of those older ideas and kind of melding them into something new and incorporating them. And so you really have this through line of sound design, voice, and music especially that has continued. And you play Warframe, and I'd like to think, you play it and it sounds like Warframe, which is kind of always the goal. It's
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible how moving forward that sonic palette has still held up, even though you've been able to take us in so many new, interesting directions, as we'll talk about later on in the panel for sure. But next up, we'll actually be seeing a behind-the-scenes video from the sound team that they prepared, We'll be taking a look at the sound design behind the Angels of the Zariman update. We'll specifically be looking at the sound design behind some of the new mission types, as well as a very highly requested look at the vocalizations for the Angels. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, Jess here from the sound team. Today I'm going to be taking you through some sound design from the Angels of Zariman update. Let's take a look. So we are in Void Flood game mode right now, and we're going to take a look at making a sound for one of these void fractures here. Let's start by recording some audio.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so we are here in Reaper. We've got some mouth sounds, we've got some ghost voices pitched up and down, some spooky breaths, some synthesizer. Let's take a listen. Okay, so that's a lot of me making some weird sounds, but we are going to do some processing. So on some of our voice breathing sounds, throwing a bit of flange on there, here and there, throwing a bit of ring mod. The ring mod really makes it rattly. You might hear this sound in some other gameplay elements in the Zariman as well. This was really fun. We're gonna throw some similar chains on me, pretending to be a ghost. I was able to grab a sample of some sparks from a welding torch. We're gonna time stretch that, and we're gonna lower it in pitch just to make it sound super weird and artifacty. And I took the Void Ooze loop from the new War. I time stretched it a bit and just snuck it in as a texture layer. And here's everything together. Okay, very spooky. Let's throw this in the game and see how it sounds. Here it is by itself. And here it is with the rest of the game audio. That's all from me. Thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and I'll see you next time.
Hello Tenno, and welcome to TennoCon 2022. I'm Eric, part of the sound team, and today we're going to show you how we made the vocals for the Void Angels. We wanted the Void Angels to elicit a sense of beauty, but also fear. And what better place to start than with a Mayan death whistle. It's terrifying.
We recorded the death whistle and added some extra effects. That was feeling good, but we wanted to punch it up a notch. So this time, we recorded the death whistle again and pitched it down. Here's what that sounds like. And here's the two performances combined.
Once the death whistle was feeling appropriately terrifying, we wanted to add the beauty element. So for that, we used a reverse reverb trick on some female laughter.
We started with unprocessed laughter. And to begin this trick, you first have to reverse it. At this stage, you can add your favorite reverb or echo. And then you record that to a separate track. Once you have that recorded, you can move that to a new track, remove your reverb, and once again, reverse it to get the final product. Here it is combined with our death whistle.
Once the death whistle and the beauty element were combined, it was time to add a little bit of size and a little bit of danger. For that, we used a microphone called the Sanken C100. It records sounds above human hearing, And what that lets you do is pitch down your own vocals by several times to make something simple turn into what sounds like a beast or a monster.
This is what our original unpitched recording sounds like. And this is what the same recording sounds like pitched down several times. And then we added that to our death whistle and our reverse laughter for the final product.
And that's how the Void Angel vocals were created. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Happy TennoCon.
Thank you for that. I mean, you know, once the Angels of the Zariman update dropped, you know, we had that preview trailer that came out where we got that first glimpse of the Angel, and from that first shriek, I think fans have been pretty curious to hear how those sounds were developed. So that was a very cool look at that. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. And speaking of the Zariman, earlier this year, we finally got to, you know, step on board the Zariman proper. We'd had a little bit of a visit during the new war, but, you know, since Warframe began, people have been hearing, you know, echoes of the Zariman, and finally we got to take a look and go on board that doomed colony ship. So, you know, it was a really remarkable mission. It was a really, really great update in terms of the sound design, the music, and all the audio. And, you know, I just have to say, from, you know, even the track that was playing over the Warframe launcher when the update went out, you know, the music just went in an entirely new direction, and still very much Warframe, but it was really cool to hear how, you know, the music was developed for that update. So, you know, Keith, I have to ask you, you know, what inspired you to use something like an organ on the tracks for this update?
Eric.
Eric? That was Eric's idea?
Yeah, we were dialing it in, and, you know, much of the approach was inspired by the sounds that you sent me, the shrieking sounds. I think you sent me those, right? Initially?
Yeah, early on, yeah.
Right, it was very helpful. It became a task of matching those sounds, so enormously helpful. And then it was Eric, it was your idea. It was like a last minute sort of, you know, this might be crazy, but let's try it. And it really, it was such a great idea, and I think it works really well. It just, you know, it's pipe organ that just makes the whole thing it's a little bit more grand, for lack of a better word. You know, it just like gives it its scope that it didn't have until we added the pipe organ. So
it was almost like because of the angel theme running through it, it was kind of like, how can we push this and give it sort of a cathedral vibe or a gothic vibe? And sort of, you know, organ came to mind and thought it would be interesting to try. And of course, Keith knocked it out of the park with the parts that he wrote and worked it in beautifully with the tracks that he had written. So yeah, very thankful that he was able to make it work so well.
Yeah.
And I'd love to add, sorry to interrupt, but that Matthew Chalmers, before I forget, Matthew Chalmers, brilliant composer who helps me on a lot of things, worked with me on all of the Zariman music.
Yes.
So thank you, Matthew.
Yes. Thank you, Matt.
Out there watching.
Shout out Matthew Chalmers.
I believe he worked on some of the New War as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Matthew Chalmers, Evan Duffy, Steve Davis were my, you know, very, very helpful collaborators on all of that music. So
nice.
Well, yeah, as George said, you know, absolutely knocked it out of the park. It was fantastic. You know, given the Zariman, you know, it's got that intense lore and such a specific, important part in terms of the lore and the history of Warframe and the Tenno. You know, when you're creating that ambient audio on board the Zariman, you know, was there a specific layer or sound that you started from in terms of, like, you know, capturing the theme in the history of the Zariman? Like, where was the starting point for that ambiance?
I think it kind of started in the New War, Eric? Like a bit.
Yep.
I mean, you know, it was a bit of that, and then brought through into the Zariman update. But yeah, you worked on a lot of that, as I recall.
Yeah, absolutely. It totally started in the New War, and that mission really much set the tone for what we did for the Zariman update in terms of ambience. A lot of it was kind of trying to weave in some memories of and echoes of what would have existed on the ship before what happened, but also tried to keep it somewhat realistic and in an area where it would be believable. Didn't want to make it too spooky. Didn't want to make it a haunted house or a house of horrors, but definitely wanted to feel that there was a presence there before what happened. So yeah, lots of iteration, lots of going back and forth with the team and working with George to get things right. We put a lot of time into our ambience work as well, and I know a lot of time people don't hear it under the gunfire, or some of the missions get right to the point very quickly. But yeah, we take a lot of time with it and kind of give each space its own characteristic sound. So yeah, if you're ever interested and you can get away from some enemies for any amount of time, turn the sound up and take a listen. Yeah, you'll find some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and I just want to mention too, sorry to cut you off, Marcus, just before I forget as well, talking about other team members and just acknowledging the other people on the sound team, and that's Giovanna Agapito, Jess Buscema, Slater Groves, Jeff Hartling, Mark Perkin, Willem Shonkin, Jem Sermon, and Chris Teixeira. They all did a fantastic job on all of these updates, and can't thank them enough for their collaboration as well. So. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But in terms of some things in the update that are, I guess, a little frightening, I did want to talk about our favorite void manifestation, Skitter Girl, because, for anyone who's been playing through the Angels of the Zeramin, you've probably been chased by this lovely void manifestation. So I have to ask, is it more fun to do sound design for a creepy child than it is to be chased by one?
I think you have to be chased by one to know how to sound design for one.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. That voice was Archimedean Yanta, and she recorded some lines for us for Skitter Girl. And Giovanni, one of the sound designers, he did the processing and got that working and made it extra creepy with the echoes and the reverb and all that stuff.
That's pretty great. I mean, fitting that it's also Archimedean Yanta's, it's her own manifestation. So very cool to use the same voice actress for that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not a fun chase, but it is cool. It's a good time. And then in terms of the Zeramin, it very much has some certain tendrils into Duviri for sure. So I just wanted to ask, in terms of any sort of sound qualities, was there anything that perhaps we might hear from Duviri that is sort of layered into onboard the Zeramin? Are there any maybe sonic Easter eggs that we might be able to find on board?
Yes. I think there is a sonic Easter egg in Zeramin. I think a lot of people have definitely found it. And there will be some sonic Easter eggs in Duviri from Zeramin as well. So yeah, keep your ear out.
Very cool. So next up, we're going to be seeing another video from the sound team. At this time, we'll be taking a look at the revamped audio for the Eximus enemies that came with the Angels of the Zeramin update, as well as we'll be taking a journey with our very own George Spanos to do some field recording. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris from the sound team. I'm going to show you my electromagnetic recording rig today. These are electromagnetic sensors which capture electromagnetic fields instead of sound waves through the air like your typical microphones on the left here.
PlayStation, смотри.
The magnetic field is strong with these dimmer switches here.
Он считывает магнитические эти звуки.
Don't worry, I'm not doing anything dangerous. So I think I have something there usable that I'm going to try some sound design with. So I have Reaper open here, and I'm going to be sound designing for these little electrical orbs that come from the bioelectric Eximus unit. So we're going to start with the electrical panel sound here. And it needs a little something, so I'm going to add tremulator here. Gives it a little bit of rhythm. And then I'm going to add this plugin, which is a grains and pitch plugin. It's really cool. So what I did next was I changed the parameters here and basically played around until I found something that was really unique and interesting. And I went with that.
150.
Да. Слышь, а куда промокод этот девается?
В магазине
here. A little bit of EQ, compression, phase, panning, pitch shifter, and delay and reverb. And just like that, the sound was done. Here's the final result.
Тут новости, Warframe, оружие, экипировка, компоненты, набор.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the rest of TennoCon.
Hey everyone. This year we thought we'd show you some ambient recording. Now I know we've done it in the past, but we've never used a binaural microphone in the past. A binaural microphone aims to replicate the human head. So it's got 2 ears on it, and in each ear there's a microphone. And so what it does is it records sound in a really interesting, in-depth way that you would normally hear the sound if you were out in that environment. Some of you know this as ASMR. The other thing we did was we got a seismic microphone. A seismic microphone, you can stick it onto metal, plastic, glass, whatever. And it records sound like normal microphones can't. So it gives it a depth and a clarity that you normally wouldn't get. It really adds importance and resonance to the sound, which is really interesting. So make sure you're wearing headphones for this, especially for the binaural part, and enjoy.
За 1 кредит маска оператора стоит. Так что забирайте. За 1 кредит. Потом... Там, где вот выход... В магазине.
Я уже нашел.
Redeem код. Ввести код. А ну, TennoCon. Как там? 2022?
Второй не активен.
TennoCon 2022. О, 220 тысяч кува ривенсит. Спасибо, Ваня. Там еще один код. Death Blade. Battle. Карак, призма, скана. Excalibur, Avalon, Helmet, Excalibur, Glyph. Прикольно.
Next up, of course, as we've looked back at the new war and at the Angels of the Zerman update, we now, of course, have to look forward to the Deviri Paradox. We first got our look at the Deviri Paradox during that TennoCon 2019 trailer where, you know, we saw that lone rider above that on that skeletal horse, and it was pretty incredible to see that sneak peek. And you know, now here we are, looking ahead to Deviri. So, you know, in terms of that 2019 TennoCon trailer, how has the sonic palette from that trailer held up? Have you still been able to kind of draw on that as, you know, the inspiration for Deviri moving forward, or have you had some different realizations between creating that trailer and then now creating the update?
It's always funny to look back on things from a few years ago and try to incorporate some of those ideas. And, definitely. I mean, I guess to answer the question, definitely some of it is being incorporated into what we're doing now. But of course, there's a whole bunch of new stuff as well. It's interesting when you working on a trailer versus working on the game as a whole requires kind of a different kind of approach. And so what might work for a trailer may not work in the game and vice versa. But the general tone of it, for sure, I think we're trying to carry some of that through, but also kind of build on it, and Keith has been writing some great music for that. And I know the rest of the team has been working hard on making sounds for certain things. I don't know, I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say, but
I know it's always a challenge, right? Is
I'm like,
so much
did I say that
you want to
thing
get
or
into?
no? Yeah.
Yeah. The whistling is very Western, which I love. And speaking of different themes and ideas to draw upon, is there a specific kind of list of themes or inspirations that you want to draw on for Duviri? Is there kind of maybe like a genre you're sort of looking at in terms of where you want to develop perhaps the sound design even?
Yeah, it's a pretty wide range, and I mean, Eric, you can speak to this too. I think everything from Western to kind of, I don't know, I mean, I guess you could say kind of space opera in a way. So there's a lot of that we're incorporating into it and trying to bring it into a new territory, it's a big update. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new area for players to explore. And so, the question is always like, how do we make it feel kind of familiar in tone, but yet new and exciting? Yeah.
So I do have to ask before we move on from Duviri, George, you touched on this briefly before, but are there any, directions that will go sonically or perhaps, in terms of maybe a vocal performance that we haven't heard yet in Warframe? Is there any sort of untrodden ground that Duviri will go to that we haven't yet seen?
100% yes. And actually, I think Keith has been working on something that's going to be pretty damn cool.
Don't look over there.
Don't look at the screen though.
We're over here.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty cool. We're pretty excited about it actually. And we always try to do that, right? It's always try to like, hey, what can we do on this update to make it new and exciting and refreshing? And there's going to be plenty of that on Duviri, I guarantee it, from all departments really. So.
Yeah. No, it's been incredible to see the work already going into it, and I just. Of course, fans may get another sneak peek later on in the show today for TennoCon 2022, but it's been incredible to see the work that's gone into it, and it looks it's going to be pretty special. So I have to ask for there's certainly some aspiring sound designers and composers watching today. For a sound designer or someone who wants to get into composing. What's something that they could even do today to start working and honing their craft?
Like in this day and age, I mean, there's YouTube, there's trailers everywhere. There's so much content out there. Grab a trailer from your favorite game and redesign the sound, and try that. Try downloading Unreal, try Unity, try, all of these game engines that I think most of them you can get free versions of or demo versions of, and just start working away at kind of figuring out what makes them tick, from the technical side. And then the trailers from the creative side, you can put a lot of different ideas into them and kind of build up your skills that way, I think is a good way of approaching it.
Yeah, really, it does take a long time to learn the craft, and
there's really no
replacement for experience and just trying and getting things wrong. So I always say the sooner you can start getting things wrong, the sooner you're going to start getting things right. So yeah, just jump in.
That's awesome. No, thank you for those insights. Those are really great to hear. So next up for our panel, we're actually going to be playing a little game. So for those of you that are fans of the ever-popular Wordle, there's another version called Hurdle, where you need to listen to music and guess it quickly enough, as fast as you can. And so today we're bringing you Warframe Hurdle, Wordle. And so you guys get to play it for the first time ever. So very, very exciting. So the object of the game is you want to try and guess the source of the audio in as small of a duration of a clip as you can. So we'll play a small duration of a clip, and then if you're unable to guess it, we'll start playing longer and longer until we max out. I think we've got about 4 or 5 samples for each that we'll play. So you guys are working together on this, don't worry, and we'll have it separated by category so you can kind of stay in the same headspace. So first off, we'll be starting with the music category, so these will all be songs. So to guess correctly, you just need to either guess the title if you want, or you can guess what update the song is from. So here's our first track, and this will be about a second long.
Sounds of Duran. Oh, shoot, Keith. Sorry. He wrote it, so what am I doing?
I didn't give it the name. I was going to say the werewolf one.
Yes. Yeah, what was that? That was with Ballas, and what was that update called?
The Sacrifice.
The Sacrifice. Yeah. Sacrifice.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite tracks in the game. I love that track.
It's one of my favorite pieces I've ever written for anything. I think melodically it was successful, I guess. I don't know.
It's fantastic.
It achieved what I was going for, and I don't always quite get there, and I felt like I got there with that one.
Okay, and let's check out the next track.
I think I know it.
Think you know it?
It's, Angels of the Zeraman. That's the Angel OST.
Yep.
The boss fight. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep,
I forget the name of that one, but.
Yeah, I think it's On Corroded Wings.
On Corroded Wings.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fitting title.
It's the nanas. Na 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 na.
yeah, I never thought of those like na 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 na.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so next up, that was our music category. We'll be moving on to dialogue. So if you can guess either the character or honestly even the update that it's from, both will suffice. So you'll be hearing a shorter amount of dialogue, and then you'll just have to guess from there. So here's our first clip of dialogue.
Oh, that's Hunhow, vainglorious whelp.
Yep.
I forget the update,
Nice.
but yeah.
You got the line though.
Yeah. Man, it's weird, How that just clicks in.
It's like memories rushing back.
Yeah, it's just like seeing the Matrix.
Man, yeah, you absolutely sniped that, George. Yeah, I think that was a fan favorite among the community team for sure. We loved that line of vainglorious whelp. It was just
it's from the New War, isn't it? I think
it is. Yeah, it's the New War. Excellent delivery, and it's such a good bit of dialogue. We loved it. All right, and here's our last bit of dialogue.
Ничего.
Or a night? Is that Dreamers?
Давай.
No.
Oh, I'm out then.
All right, let's hear the second bit.
Ой, иду на захват.
Dreamer. Let them define.
Oh.
I should say they do scale up in difficulty as we go across each category. So this will be the hardest one.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
Rings a
Можем
bell.
попробовать на реле пойти там, где Барак.
Ready for the full duration?
Yeah.
Dreamer. Let them define. No more.
This is in the New War, and it's when you get to one of near the end, and you climb the tower, the Unum.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the Unum.
It is the Unum,
It's the
correct.
Unum Tower. Of course.
For the word.
Yeah. I know it was a pretty special moment in that quest because I don't think, there's different characters you expect to hear from. I don't think the Unum is someone anybody expected to hear from. So that was, when everything slows down there and you get that angelic voice that comes through. It was really cool moment of that quest. And I think this next category is also increasing in difficulty as well. Now we're moving on to the sound effects or the sound design category. So if you can identify, the source of these bits of audio or the update that's from, both will work. So here we go. Here's our first sound effect.
The enemies are dropping reactant.
Need a little bit more of that flavor.
Yeah. Target. Capture them quickly before they don't forget the reactant. You need more to open that relic.
Well, too, but
Не знаю, я не был в Warframe.
That one's a tough one.
Stay focused.
Increasing in difficulty, you said? Where do we start?
There is actually a hint I had planned for this one that I can give now. It is one of the Archons.
Ah. Oh, okay.
But you'll have to identify which one it is.
Archon.
Excellent work. We'll interrogate.
Keith has it.
What was that, Keith?
Archon number 3.
You're absolutely correct. It is Archon number 3.
Nice.
Nicely done. Yeah. Archon Naira. Nice. That's perfect.
Awesome. Good job, Keith.
Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent. All right, here is our next sound effect.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
That's not what's in the orbiter. What's the
Какое-то устройство?
I'm forgetting the name of the beast thing in your orbiter.
Oh, the helmet.
Oh, the helmet.
No.
This is the latest Warframe.
Yes.
Angels Deserve.
It sounded like a beastly.
Yeah, cool. It is. Do you want to play the full sound effect?
Yeah, that's her fourth ability.
Correct, Eric. Yep, you're correct. It is Gyre's Rotor Swell. Rotor Swell.
Nice.
Yeah, nicely done. Yeah, he had it after that.
Говорят, чтобы ракетир какой-то мод там редкий привез.
Thank you guys for playing Mortal. That was a blast. It was very cool to see, hear some of the, the bits of history behind those different pieces of dialogue and music, and you guys were proved you're quite good at Mortal. So, well, very well done. A few weeks ago, we did ask the Warframe fans both on the forums and on Reddit to pose some questions. So we can jump into those now. So Guts 440 on the forums asks, why in the middle of Foreign Armor do you use a sample of what sounds like the intro to This Is What You Are?
Why? I'm trying to remember why. I think it's something along the lines of just trying to bring an echo of
Куда мне их девать? Я с моды тешу, мне нафиг не нужно, я их уберу.
Of how things used to be. Sort of that kind of idea, like a little echo that, you might miss it, but it's more than likely we'll just get this sense that it's the past.
And Keith, I have to ask, how did that feel taking that anthem of We All Live Together, this hopeful, beautiful song, and then kind of inverting its entire theme? Was that your idea to corrupt your original idea?
I don't remember whose idea. It's all very collaborative. George and I had, I think it was a 2-hour call one day, Zoom, quite like this, where it was just ideas back and forth. And the good ones are usually George's. And then I attempt to take credit for them later. But it definitely, I love the idea, no matter whose idea it was, I love the idea of having two pieces that you could actually almost overlap. I wanted them to play at the same tempo, in the same key, but I don't think we ended up doing it in the same key for vocal range reasons. But the melodies play off one another, and a corrupt version of it is exactly the concept.
Enderleia on Reddit asks, what sound effect in the game is the most transformed from its original recording?
Wow, a good one. A lot of them, actually. Hey, Eric. I mean, it's funny, like we were saying earlier. You come in with an idea and you kind of twist and turn things until it's kind of like having like molten steel or something, and you're hammering at it into like bending it into the shape that you want it to be.
Диадема для оператора, там маска за один кредит уникальная в магазине продается.
Я уже взял ее.
Unfortunately, but just taking the sound of like a lion roar and just really like stretching it out and putting plugins on it and making it something kind of like completely different. I'm sorry, I can't remember what I use that on, but it happens a lot.
За промокод?
Yeah, we're always trying to refresh things and keep things updated where we can. Changing things too much.
Промокод в чате
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Мейсон
there's any
кидал.
one
Tenno-Con
particular
2022,
sound.
еще
It's
один,
lots
там
of
два
little
выше
things
кидал.
over time.
Но я тот вел, тот
Improving the
недействительный.
technology that we use to play our sounds is a big part of it too, and that kind of
Да,
indirectly
мне
affects
пишет,
older
этот код
sounds and
недействительный.
gives them new life,
А ты должен...
puts them into a slightly different context.
Вот мне пришло
Yeah, I can only
Excalibur,
imagine as time goes on, that technology would just only enhance those original recordings for sure.
Карак и
You
призма
surprise
скана.
yourself too, right? Like you'll pull a sound in and you'll try different things, and you kind of, I think that's a big part of sound design. Is like
кредиты,
you
да,
can't
я
be afraid to try
получил.
things, and I'm sure it's the same with music too. It's like
Вот.
something you would think would sound a certain way. It's like, well, how can we make this sound something different? Let's just try things on it, right? And not
220 тысяч, осколки и кулак.
Да, а второй код на оружие. Палитра, оружие.
Def Techno.
Ну вот второй код у меня не.
What is your favorite sound effect that you haven't found the right place to
один в
use
один,
in
как
game
он
yet?
написал.
Я так и делал.
Easy, George.
Rubber chicken.
Я скопировал.
There you go. There you go. Yes, yes.
Ну, у меня пишет, этот код не действительно.
One day there will be a pitch down
Если
rubber
хотя бы
chicken
один
in
символ
Warframe.
неправильно ввёт.
Man, we used to have one of those in the office, eh? When a build would be broken, someone would squeeze the rubber chicken and you'd hear through the office. So, where is that rubber chicken? Where is it?
It's in my office.
Just waiting to be used on
Tucked
something.
away.
Yeah. Man in the Wall 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that would be really. Those chickens do sound honestly pretty terrifying. So that would.
Yeah. I'll bet it would sound horrifying.
Yeah,
Down,
chicken in
down
the wall
2
pitch. That like
octaves with
that.
some-
You know.
Yep. Yeah. Got to try it now.
It's gonna happen.
Next Warframe.
Yeah. Duviri Easter egg.
Yeah.
I think one fan question that we definitely received a lot from this forum post and on Reddit, but I think across many avenues, I'm sure you all have heard it a lot for sure. But when should fans potentially expect the next Warframe soundtrack?
Well, I was talking to Keith about this not too long ago, actually. We have one in the works. It's funny because I was combing through all of the music that we've written since, 2018. Yeah, and he's got it right there.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, and it's, I was talking to our merchandising team, and it's literally 4 records worth. It's an incredible amount of music that has been written in the past 4 years.
Wow.
So we actually are hoping for the end of this year, but I can't make any promises as to that. It's long overdue, and we need to get it out there, and it's definitely in the works. And
Хоть на 80-е, мне всё равно.
do it.
That's amazing.
And it will be 6 records by the time we're done.
And it will be 6 records. Exactly. Well, that's the thing, because we started talking about it like earlier this year, and so now Angel of the Zeraman, those tracks have to get added on, and now whatever else comes out before it. Yeah, but it'll be good though. It'll be good. Excited for that.
I like your spirit, Keith. I like that. Let's add a couple more records on there. Let's get up to 6.
Yeah.
Let's make it a deluxe collection.
Yeah.
Go all the way.
Fantastic. Now, I am very excited now. Earlier on, you guys informed me that we actually have a bit of a sneak peek of some music incoming from the upcoming Duviri Paradox update that we will play for you now.
А что пробовал? И в основном, если эти, там, типа, как оно там, защищать что-нибудь, там, оборона, вот такое. А для меня это вообще как 2 пальца. В бой я стою, бегать не хочется. А урон мне ничего не наносит.
С музыкой играют с Duviri, с парадоксом.
У тебя кораблик.
Optimus Prime.
А я никак не получу кораблик.
Это за платину, Колян. Все корабли за платину.
Я понял, не хочу я.
За платину и за Деноген. Как Destiny. За пыль, за серебро.
Не, у меня части корабля вот этого, что ты летаешь, есть. Остальные надо выбивать.
Thank you for sending that along. That was pretty special. Yeah, and honestly, a massive thank you to the 3 of you, but also to the entire sound team at Digital Extremes for all the work that you do for Warframe. It's absolutely incredible, and thank the 3 of you. Thank you to the 3 of you for joining us today for the sound panel. It's been an absolute blast.
Thank you, Marcus. It's been really fun. I enjoyed this. So.
Thank you.
Marcus, yeah, it's been an honor.
Honor's all mine. Thank you so much. I also want to give a special thank you to DE Corey and the community team who helped co-produce this panel. So thank you, Corey, for your help. You were instrumental in this for sure. And don't go anywhere for TennoCon 2022 because next up we have a live panel brought to you by our very own Megan Everett as she goes through a live developer Q&A. She's joined by Pablo, Kaz, and DE Matt as they answer all of your questions live. So enjoy TennoCon 2022.
Полетели, сейчас я
everybody,
в одно
Megan
место
here
тебя
to let you
позову.
know that by watching this year's show on Twitch, you're going to earn yourself some incredible free items if you have your Warframe and Twitch account linked. Watching TennoCon until 5 p.m. Eastern Time for 30 consecutive minutes will reward you with both the Veracruz Warfan and the Renala Sugatra. But that's not all. Tune into Tenno Live between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another 30 consecutive minutes, and you're going to earn yourself a free Titania Prime. That's right.
Free Titania Prime.
Warframe. If you already have your Twitch account and your Warframe account linked and received drops before on Warframe streams, then you're all set. But if you've never linked your Warframe together, simply go on over to warframe.com/Twitch, log into your Warframe account, and follow the simple instructions to get set up. And that's it. Enjoy the show.
As a concept artist, that's kind of the most exciting stuff because I think it started out as like a terraforming situation. We were going to take this crazy hot planet of Venus and cool it down with these like
it was broken devices that were there that the Corpus had come and tried to turn back on because of the turbulence of this terraforming device. You'd have stuff melt and then it would freeze up, so you'd get these giant frozen sideways icicles, off of mountains and stuff. So we were trying just to think of how could we describe this place?
How can we make this look interesting and make sense and also make it make sense because we're not supposed to be on Venus, right? And then there's this colony just dealing with this debt. That's like us, right?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Again, little things
very relatable.
Kind of
makes it personal. Yeah. I think also one of the things is elevation, because plains is pretty flat. You know what I mean? Or Vallis there, it's pretty mountainous. You can go really high up in that level, and I know you can't do that with Plains Island. So I think that played a key factor. The color, the mood. Warframe's so fast, when you're playing these other levels and stuff, it's okay, now you have this massive world and terrain to traverse, and so the K-Drive came in to kind of speed that up.
To be honest, the K-Drive thing didn't happen when we started doing the landscape.
It came later, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of came. Those elements actually work really well just in general for gameplay. Yeah, I think the landscape, when you see it, it kind of felt like, oh, here's a great opportunity to inject this.
Kind of surf in the snow. Well, also some of the vehicles got explored a lot.
Yeah, again, we were trying to tell the story of what was happening. So we had almost forestry type equipment where they were chopping down mushrooms and like a logging type thing. Yeah. I don't know how much of that actually came through, but we were trying that because again, we were trying to fill out. It's so big and just try to tell these sort of small stories throughout the landscape. We're seeing how we can take this into sort of any direction we'd like.
And go outdoors, yeah.
Well, just in general, just anywhere. So it's really fun to be a part of being able to do that, I guess. So.
Yeah. More Vallis is what we want to do. Nailed it.
Там ловушка стоит уже.
Hey Tenno, Megan here again. Did you know that we have new merch in the store? Just like this lamp. If you go to store.warframe.com, you can get yourself one of these lamps that changes color. But not just that, you can also switch it out from a lotus symbol to Excalibur.
Я сделаю.
Wow, just like that. Make sure you go to store.warframe.com and you can get one of these and check out all the other merch that we have available as well. That was your scare? What was that?
Warframe бесимся.
О, мои сомбрет.
Hey Tenno, Danny here. We're getting so much closer to unveiling some incredible surprises. Tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be opening up the Duviri Amphitheater orbiting Earth in-game. Join your fellow Tenno for an up-close and very unique experience during the Tenno Live presentation. As a special thank you for joining us for TennoCon today, for the next 40 hours, you can claim a special operator and character cosmetic, the Stranger's Hood. This exclusive cosmetic is available right now on all platforms in the in-game market for 1 credit. Be sure to log in and claim yours. Bye, Tenno.
Сарчинга.
Да, я могу носить.
Райдер, разбочь меня в ВК, плиз. Да, действительно, разбочь.
Кого?
Nintendo говорит, Райдер, разбочь меня.
Вот бы меня разблочили, мой аккаунт проверили.
А тебя
меня забанили там.
Где?
Да ни за что. Можно так сказать.
Тебя за спойлера. Поняли.
Да нет, там просто отписался человеку и за эту штуку. Это еще в 2019 были, или припомнили.
Так, кто тебя забанил? Где?
Да, в ВКонтакте аккаунт мой.
А, сам ВК тебя забанил?
Ну да.
Я думал, Райдер тебя забанил.
Да, а Райдер...
Hello, welcome. Sorry, staring into the abyss at Dean, and I can't really see anything. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the audible sensation of the art panel, the sound panel with Marcus, George. This is very disorienting. I need to take that out. I'm like screaming. Sorry, Dean. I'm supposed to be able to hear him. With George, Eric, and Keep Power, and it was so fun to watch that get put together, and thank you to everyone who gave support to that. Marcus, you're incredible. And now we're here for the Dev Q&A. I am joined by some very fun, lovely people from DE. I'm going to let them introduce themselves one by one. We'll start with Kaz.
Hi, I'm Kaz. I am the weapons lead at Warframe.
Me, Matt Tremblay. I guess I'm next, right?
Yeah,
after Kaz, that's me. I'm one of the art directors on Warframe.
And I'm Pablo. I'm a designer in Warframe. You know me.
You know me. It's Pablo. On this segment, we have 55 minutes, and I have a bunch of questions here on my iPad, and I will be asking them. These are questions based off of questions that I've seen on streams. I maybe creeped some Twitters, just kind of curated some stuff. We're going to talk about the new war. We're going to talk about Zerman, and then of course a little bit about Viri. But before we get into that, I said at the beginning of the stream that I might do a giveaway, and we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a Garuda Prime Access. She does end today. I don't know why she would end today. There's no reason why she would just up
Nothing
and leave.
in particular.
Nothing in particular why Garuda Prime Access would end today, but we're going to give away a Garuda Prime Access. Dean is rolling. Can you guys see how tiny that text is?
That's really small.
Yeah, my glasses don't go that far. So.
My contacts do not. Although I can actually see Apex Acolyte. Am I right, Dean?
Ah.
Oh my God, Apex Acolyte. Congratulations.
To be young and have good eyes.
I mean, not young, not good eyes, so I'm just closest to the screen is all. Apex Acolyte, congratulations. You have won a Garuda Prime Access. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now with your in-game alias and the platform you play Warframe on, and we'll get you your Garuda Prime Access. Congratulations. All right. Are we ready for some A's to the Q's? Yeah. I love it.
Let's do it.
All right, first we're going to start off with some general questions about your actual role and what it is that it means to be ABC. So we're going to start with Pablo, and what does it mean to be a game designer?
You do a little bit of everything. You kind of go around. Sometimes you're working on coming up with a new Warframe. Sometimes it's kind of looking back and seeing, recently we did, for example, rework of Focus, rework of Eximus, systems that have been in the game for, literally an eon. So
the dawn of time.
Yeah, pretty much. Eximus have been there for, 9 years on touch, right? So sometimes it's a bit about, looking back and seeing, okay, well, what could we do to improve what's there? Sometimes it's what is new that could be, exciting, sometimes looking for new ways to give new rewards for players that feel kind of evolving weapons, for example, thing like that. So you kind of, it's a little bit all over the place. It's kind of trying to find how do you keep something that has existed for 9+ years fresh and keep it fun.
You're the fun maker.
That's the idea.
That's the hope and the dream. I love it. Kaz.
О, Вера мне привезли.
Yeah, so we make a pretty weird game here, Warframe. Do we? I don't know. As I'm sure you know, our weapons and cosmetics are pretty unique in the industry, so as a result, all the people on my team are pretty weird and unique themselves and very creative people. We come up with just amazing things, and it's new every single update, every single time. So coming up with something from nothing, I guess Pablo some design direction as well. And then just going crazy with it. It's just the dream for any artist, just to be able to go step outside of the box so far every single time. It's fun.
I'm still waiting for like a corn launcher. I'm still waiting for the weapons I want.
Well, wait and see.
Oh my goodness, the anticipation. I do have more corn questions, but we'll wait. Matt, art director, tell me more.
Corn questions.
Oh, Matt, you're about to be introduced to the world of corn.
Art director, right? It's one of those positions at the studio that does a whole lot of stuff, like Pablo was saying, on the design side, but it's obviously more art-centric. There's a few of us on the project. It's a big game, so there's different areas, different kind of responsibilities, I guess, in terms of the overall art look of Warframe. But a lot of what we do is work with, the creative team, designers and creative director, the narrative team, the art team, and there's all different types of groups there. So as an art director, most of the job is just and keeps that art train kind of running on the tracks, essentially. There's all kinds of super talented people that we all work with. So I'm not doing a whole lot of the actual day-to-day creation stuff myself. I leave that to people like Kaz, and there's so many super talented people on the team. So as an art director, you do some art and you do some high-level stuff, but you really just kind of help move the vision along and support the people who are actually doing the day-to-day content.
All three of you for a while. Do you know?
I think I've been like 11 years.
11 years? Matt, you're a vet?
Yes.
25?
23.
Ooh, I'm so close.
I'm like 7.
Like 7, yeah. 9. Yeah, so we're, we've been around. But I think that's one really cool thing is, you all three have very unique different jobs, but they all kind of blend into each other. Like there's not a time where your art direction, something that you're working on, doesn't involve Pablo or doesn't involve Kaz. Like everything kind of blends together. And Pablo, I want to kind of take us all back, because like I said, a lot of years here. We've been through a lot of iterations of Warframe and what it's been over the years. Do you remember the first thing that you worked on when you came into Warframe?
I was actually still finishing our previous project, but people were getting wrapped up on Warframe, and at that point I was a UI programmer, so they needed basically the basic components to be able to make menus and stuff. They just needed kind of like the basic foundation of how to draw a list, how to draw a grid and stuff like that. So I was literally doing kind of that on the side of the other project. And we would just kind of assemble the screens.
Do you remember the first screen you did? Do you remember?
Probably Arsenal, but that might also be a lie, because I made that screen so many times by now.
It's like, what it looked like when you first did it.
Yeah, we've changed that screen so many times that I'm sure that I'm just kind of like...
It's perfect now though, right?
Don't even touch it ever again. It's great.
I don't know. Like some of those things probably was Arsenal, but the first design, once I started to kind of transition a little bit more to that, I think it was changing abilities to no longer be mods. I think that was like my first big change, like the design suggestion that essentially kind of got the ball rolling. Because obviously the pipeline of UI programmer to designer is not a common one.
It's not a step over. It's
not a very natural transition. I think that was like the first probably either that or Endos. One of those is probably kind of where I kind of got started a little more on the design side of things. It is interesting. Sometimes I like start playing and like start thinking of all the things that we've done. Like it feels weird, obviously, a game of this size. We were talking about, you know, it's very kind of like it's a collaborative thing. You just cannot do it. With,
you just kind of do it.
Yeah, it is impossible. Like it always feels, you know, it always feels almost like a miracle to get like this.
That we get anything tangible out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much we're gonna comment on what happened last night.
We talked about it this morning. We talked about it. So they know. They know.
Okay, well, it always feels like a miracle when we pull it, and you know, I think we're. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I definitely think like the general sentiment is like we're all super fortunate to be able to work in such a successful project that is also so creatively free. That really allows us to kind of do crazy things and switch it up all the time.
It brings me back to like just remembering conversations of like I want to do a motorbike Warframe, and then a year later we have Gauss, right? Like you have these like little trinkets of ideas that you think are so far-fetched, but Warframe is so far-fetched that like you can make it make sense. From an art director perspective.
You know what? I've been blessed in my tenure on Warframe to be environments more than
Discord не с этого сидишь?
We absolutely do. We absolutely do.
У тебя браузер?
The thing is that all, like the people that work on the project, it all has to mesh together, you know, like we all work together towards a common goal of and you know, you can't do it without the other people on this stage, and you can't do it without the other people behind the scenes that are watching today. And it's difficult sometimes to come up with something fresh and exciting, but there's so many people that are so invested in the project. If you're stuck, you just have to watch the person next to you.
Это очень неудобно. Они так время,
конечно. Like, is this a good idea? You know, ideas come from Pablo. Ideas from Kat, from me, from anyone in the studio.
Corn Warframe.
Corn, yeah. I mean, for sure. I really like that actually.
We just established it's a far-fetched game. Okay, I'm gonna keep nailing this home. No, that's a beautiful point. And just kind of go back to what we're talking about. First thing you remember working on Warframe. Kaz. I know if we go back to your origin story, it's like one of my favorites of all time. You were part of the community, and you know we had a relationship in terms of fan art was out there.
Soma Prime, Soma.
You're a part of DE now.
Yeah, I did Tenno for a little while, but my first project was the Kugro armor that the community effectively considers a cone of shame.
Oh no!
It's pretty funny when I saw all those comments. I agree with it though. It's kind of like that.
Cone-esque. It's Barricadier is very coney. That guy's got
Он уже получается у меня в ранге.
And back then, I was off-site for 7 months waiting for my visa, and my only way to communicate with the studio was with emails with Carrie, and he told me how to use substance through email.
Да, у меня вот этих реликвий, блин, куча, я не знаю, что с ними делать.
Да, немерено.
That was an interesting time, but
вот других у меня золотых нет.
You should be. No, that's
не знаю, Нео, Чакси,
Matt, do you remember the first one?
Yeah, I was just gonna say if it's.
А у меня их, по-моему,
I think one of
нет.
the really cool things
У меня
about
все
Kat's
открыты.
story is that she was part of the community. You know, like
Я ж делать нехер, я ж все реликвии практически пооткрывал, кроме вот этих.
Attitude and all that kind of stuff, and like it was, you were the
Я тебе говорю, у меня эти дуката около ляма.
community person to come and work on the art.
Я повторки все попродавал.
No, it was
по одному поставлял, с остальным.
Oh, you're Matt. You're the interviewer.
How could we not? Anyways, yeah, sorry, I didn't divert from that, but I think it was really. It's really a good.
Так у меня коры было, системы, у меня только было 30 штук, сколько-то там
people, the best,
This is a mobile
most equipped
defense
artists
mission.
and designers, all that
You
kind of
must
stuff. Like the
deliver
community has all
payloads
kinds
and
of great
defend a
ideas.
number of
So back to the other
locations while I
point, like
break into the
if we
network.
don't have our own ideas,
Be
then
prepared
we
for
can
heavy
look to the community,
resistance.
because the community
I
has been
can't
really
do this
inspired
without
by
you.
the collective work that we've done, which is super rewarding for me to see anyways. And I'm sure it is for most other people, to get,
Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby. Do you have a matching relic?
That's pretty awesome.
No, and you're absolutely right, I'm pretty sure I was the first person that
Look out for
from the
reactant.
community, like we eventually
Here is a terminal.
came to the studio, like you
Get
live
me
here
in.
now, like there was that whole process.
I
Like,
live here now.
You live here now, and you lived here for a while,
Access to a
but
terminal.
I'm pretty sure you're the
Find
first
one
one.
and patch me
that
in.
we reached out to.
And I put so much into getting hired here. I
I'm
made
in,
those little
Tenno.
void
The keys, yeah, and the
Мне только
bombs.
стоит ходить
I
просто,
made
они
the
сами
Captain
умирают.
I
Sword
still have it.
bobblehead.
I still have it in my office.
That's
The
where
ones
it
you
is.
made. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I have it. I took it. Not gonna lie. It's in my
Stay
office.
focused.
I'm hoarding
There's a heavy
everyone's
unit approaching.
replicas and props. I'm sorry.
They're
Although
dropping
you have a lot. You
reactors.
have like the giant
Use it
queller
to
at
crack
home.
open the
Yeah.
relic.
I would also.
Бегать не надо,
Keep
Юр.
fighting.
Это то, что бегаете, оно потом пособирать труднее.
Taking another step back, Pablo. Do you have a favorite thing in Warframe?
Возле защитки стать тут и все.
Favorite thing. I don't know. That's kind of like choosing between your children.
Ты видел, сколько у меня оружия?
It better be Jack.
I don't even know. Like honestly, it's a. I think overall, like the magic of
Мне надо
working
собрать релики еще.
like the moment-to-moment gameplay, like that sort of like. I always think of it like you get like a moment where you're almost kind of dancing, you're not even thinking about how you're fighting. And I think the fact that we've managed to make so many things that kind of still can work with that without breaking it, because you know it's an interesting balance. Yeah, I think in general, like I don't know about a thing exactly that I.
You don't want to pick a favorite kid, I get it.
But yeah, in general, like I think what I feel the proudest about what the team has managed to accomplish is like when you're playing Warframe, you know it's Warframe. You know it looks like nothing else. It plays like nothing else. You know it sounds like nothing else.
Oh yeah.
So you know that's kind of the like I think that's really what I take the most pride of for the whole team, just in terms of what we managed to make there. And the fact that it's so unique and so thing.
I'm in, Tenno.
What a great answer.
This will take a moment.
Cass, can you follow up with that? What's is there something design?
Probably just the incarnate weapons. The set that I did, I designed 3 of them and I finished 1 of them, and then the other 2 I gave to members of the weapons team to finish, and they did such a great job. I'm so proud of just that whole set all together. It just all came together really nicely. So the one that I finished was
Это у тебя этот Пикати?
Are you gonna have it?
Will it transform?
Will it transform? Yeah.
Когда ты 29 ранг? Все.
See what we can make.
Жесть и зверь.
Matt, has there been a most proud moment?
Красава.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about this morning. I think the thing for me that really resonated the most was the second dream. I think the reason being is not because we were doing, you know, anything super different on the kind of environment art side of that stuff, but just that was the first cinematic quest. It really turned the
Там промокод, короче, Мейсон кидал в чат, чуть выше. TennoCon
and I think that a lot of us worked
2022,
on, you know, more
и там еще один
games
промокод есть.
previously, you know,
Там 2
and
промокода.
campaigns and things like that, and we
На
hadn't really
палитру,
done anything,
на ручку.
you know, that kind of level in Warframe yet. And
Ну, сама не
the
плохо.
response from the community
Terminal
was super
spotted.
awesome. Like the response
Uploading
within the
and
studio was
prepare to
super
defend.
awesome. So yeah, I think looking back, we've done a lot of really great stuff since, but
This will take a
it
moment.
really kind of struck a chord with me to realize what we could do, you know, and the quality of what we could put out. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I remember when just a few people, I think it might have been like a VIP group for one of the old PennoCons. We came to the studio at the office and the studio at the office, the theater at the office, and they had us listen to a really early version of the song. And we were like, what is this? It's so different than everything else, and it wasn't finished yet, and it was just, it was so magical, like, to hear that for the first time. Just knowing that the direction of what went came up with something so much deeper, so much more meaningful.
I think the really awesome thing about that was that it made me personally realize anyways. I reacted to it in a way emotionally that I hadn't reacted to.
The odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it.
You know, and maybe it was because of the personal connection to the project, but yeah, there was just something like the songwriting, like it's just there was so much about
force heading your way.
that invoked emotion. Yeah, for me, it really kind of flipped the switch. It was really quite enjoyable. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was. I remember the development process, and like you could feel that there
Это
was
долго, это еще ждать и ждать. 12 ночи аж будет
We're
доверие.
gonna try this really.
Да, мы хоть и зашли, но
far-fetched
очень долго.
idea and story and emotion that we want to evoke, because our game is very, slashy, like gore-enabled game, and then we're going
А вот Пангалина у меня нет.
And it was
Друзья, тех 3-2, а вот Пангалина не
one of
могу.
the highlights is just the reception from that, and I think, I know for me,
Не, я не делал. Я много оружия не
I
делал.
want to feel what everyone else felt over again.
You want to feel loved.
I want to feel loved. Love me. No, it's good. Yeah, it was a game changer.
Но студию они прикольную сделали.
So many quests afterwards, and just continuing that story, and now we're at Deviri Paradox, which is
Там
just
удвоенный
a
синтез,
wild ride.
удвоенный
That one,
рез, и сейчас
which
все.
we'll see later. We're not gonna.
А у меня сейчас даже платина можно купить подешевле.
Да, я что же покупал?
Ну, я не покупал.
Я на днюху был, купил 1000 платины, и там делал стрим на день рождения. Там пацик зашел один из Беларуси, я ему подарил тупо.
It sort of depends. Sometimes, like, we actually just did this
400,
exercise, like, literally 3 weeks ago or something. I asked
Что, еще дальше
to
пойдем
look at
открывать?
the usage for abilities and kind of look at, like, the bottom abilities.
Я качаю, чисто мне, я качаю оружку.
Can I rework abilities without reworking frames? Just as a way to kind of speed them up a little bit.
Пошли так.
My conclusion was I can't.
Ну, мне типа в идеале резня надо.
Yeah, once I started looking at some
Ну, пошли на резню.
Тут просто на этих миссиях и качаешься, и открываешь реликвии, потому тут
But then
лучше.
if I looked a little bit up,
Короче, выбирай.
Да, нормально. О, этих у меня вообще нет. Ни одной.
Я тебе говорю, выбирай тогда.
У меня акций нету реликов.
Акций у тебя нет, да? Спасение, вот, зачистка есть. Я не знаю, что тут у нас. О, ну, меза у тебя есть же.
Essentially, I was looking at the starter frames
А меза?
and trying to kind of make them a little smoother
Меза,
for
по-моему, есть.
newer players. That's kind of so. For example, that one is the first time I've approached it like that. Like I sat down to think, not like how would be the best way to use that, but what would be the best to change. So that
у меня их
много.
Сравнительно с
Without
тем.
it being too complex, right? So,
Ну, у меня акции там чуть-чуть тоже.
А у этого новенького может и не быть.
That it's there just because there's like tiny little
Да
glowy
есть.
things that most people don't.
А сколько?
Even like the description.
Какой у него ранг, я даже и не посмотрел.
Это рандом, четвертый
So in
ранг.
this case, it was more about
Yeah,
that. Like, how do I
of course.
make it so that someone can just, because she's an awesome Warframe array, like veterans can play and destroy anything with her. So she doesn't need help there, but she does need help for like someone that's just starting the game. So the approach for this reworks was that, like just how does someone brand new pick them up, understand what they do, and work with them. But sometimes it's more about like, okay, well, what are the awkward edges of a frame that people don't enjoy playing with? You know, what is it that it doesn't quite work? Sometimes it'll be like their abilities are single target and our game is not single target.
There is a large platoon
sometimes it'll be like, you know, the energy kind of things like that. So it's very case-by-case basis, but generally try to look at the kits in more holistic way. How will they play entire?
Yeah, and I think utilizing stats is important because, like you're saying, like
use that reaction
not to say that no other Warframes are going to rework it.
You are going to need
there's a bunch of Warframes that we're taking a look at. But yeah, you look at stats and you're like, okay,
stay focused.
One of
there's a heavy unit approaching.
There's another one. Maybe that means we got to go back in and just kind of like give it an overhaul. So, and I mean.
Why?
Tenno, get ready. A prosecutor is approaching.
Very interesting way. We're going to talk a little bit about
eliminated. Watch
that old thing that happened in December of last year.
Then not some new war anymore.
It's not a new war anymore. It's an old war.
The old new war.
So in the life of the new war as we know it, very spoilers, Narmer controls.
Там еще надо пару пацков завалить.
From an art perspective, what was a process like to turn our very familiar environments of Warframe?
You're still in the clear. No detection from enemy sensors.
That was fun. Fun.
Oh no.
No, it wasn't that. I'm joking. It's difficult in a way and easy in a way. I mean, easy in that we had a very kind of small palette of things that we wanted to utilize to tell that story. Difficult in that we were taking old levers, old tile sets, and then trying to put this element on top of that. And, you know, those tile sets were not composed. They weren't created with this usage in mind. And so because the game's so old, because we like to reuse stuff when we can, when it makes sense to the narrative and stuff, you know, we have to sometimes make allowances or sacrifices or look for more creative ways to, you know, adapt those things to work with the new storyline. So that was a bit of a challenge. But we handled it in a way that was similar to anyone who played the game or has played the game from the early days. You know, we had these fire, ice infested versions of all of our levels, and we kind of used, we didn't do anything really new there. We just used some of the kind of old techniques and tricks that we had done for that, but then tried to make it work for the storyline in the new war. Yeah.
Was it hard to take, like, if we look at Orvalis being what it is now, like, that was an entire, like, just it felt like almost like a redo of the entire world, essentially.
Yeah.
ProA.
Yeah, that was interesting. Luckily, with a place like the Orvalis, there's such there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that allows us to do stuff with the visuals.
Это типа дробовика.
Really makes it a lot easier than it could be. You know, it's the same level. You're playing Orvalis, you know, in its regular form, and there's a few little knobs and switches that are flicked, and then you're playing it in war form. And same thing goes with
Тебе ничего качать не надо оружие.
PoE, you know, we did a post-war PoE that players have seen, and that was a little bit more heavy-handed. You know, that was
destroyed.
Yeah, we had things destroyed. You know, the path that you travel through as call, you know, that all exists there. If you play the early part of the game, you're going to see original PoE, and if you get to the new war and then post-war, you'd be playing that version of PoE. So it was a little more challenging that way. But again, it's that like collaboration of technical design and code and art and everyone working together to try and kind of make that thing happen.
Я отойду.
Pablo, New War. A lot happened. Average 6-hour quest. There was a lot that went on in there. One of the common questions that we get when we do kind of those bigger quests are, you know, there's a lot of really fun things in them. You know, examples.
2 минутки сможете подождать?
Puzzles, we had art and stuff like that. What's the process like of taking something that wasn't really meant to be a mechanic and maybe changing it into a mechanic outside of a quest?
I think there were like many, like I know as we were making the new war, there were a lot of conversations about like, okay, well, we're making all this new stuff. How can we then turn it into not something that you just play once and then you kind of move on. Obviously, being a live service game, we kind of need to come up with things that have replayability and that you kind of go back to over time. And, you know, without spoiling anything, you'll see a little bit of that later today.
Ooh, I was hoping you were going to say that.
You'll see a little bit of the fruits of that labor will come a little bit later today. And there's still a few things that we might kind of circle back to at some point next year, because there is a lot in the new war that was left there. But I've, you know, a few surprises later today.
Okay. I like it. Leave them wanting more. I'm into it. Still on the New War train, Kaz. New War also introduced a hefty amount of weaponry, also Narmerized, very sentient-esque, of course. A familiar name to many, Liger. They designed the Ravorix Gunblade skin, and you kind of took it the rest of the way, kind of like what you were talking about earlier. What's the development process like behind taking a concept like, you know, a beautiful one from Liger and making that come to life in Warframe?
Yeah. Well, Liger did a really great job. They always do such amazingly detailed concepts and don't leave a lot of room for interpretation.
You're just like, okay, I'll do that.
There's still room there, though. Once you bring it into 3D, there's a lot of new problems that arise when you turn the object. Does it look good from every angle? You don't have to see it from every angle. Does it look good from the player perspective, etc.? So there's still room for interpretation there, and that's where I like to put in a little extra creativity in there. It's really fun to work from Liger's concepts, though.
Liger's insane, crazy, far-fetched, but very Warframe concepts.
Yep.
Yeah, love Liger. All right, we're going to go into little Angels of the Zariman chat, shall we? Released this year, finally get to board that mystical unicorn that is the Zariman. We've made it. 9 years later, we get to board this ship. Pablo, where do you even begin to start designing a quest, characters, game modes, enemies, etc., kind of knowing the importance that the Zariman 10.0 has in the story?
From the start of when we were sort of, obviously, you know, a lot of the Zariman, like the look of it was developed from the New War, related to the previous question. But from there, once the aesthetic of the Angels was established, it became very clear that you needed to fight those angels because they were
парень просит ему помочь трошки.
Sometimes, you know, that's the cool thing about machine games, like you can go in many directions.
Да, он хотел пластит.
Say like, hey, we need to do this for gameplay. Let's figure out the art. And sometimes it'll just be like you see some art that is super cool, and it's like, oh, shit, we need to do something with that.
So what do we do with this? Let's throw it in there.
But, you know, the establishing of the Angels was very important. Obviously, you know, I think the first traces of, speaking of the Zariman, were probably like Rhino's lore entry, something like that in the Codex.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right? Like Rhino's lore entry in the Codex, like back in a billion years ago. Was it Rhino's? Or was it on Members? I can't remember. One of those. Actually, I think maybe in both, now that I think about it. And anyways, obviously, you know, the idea of how the Zariman sort of fit
То этот попросил.
The world has existed for a long time, but to bring it into something more concrete and something that could have a little bit more of
Он просил типа пластит, а потом сам свалил.
Having a weird relationship to you.
Не, так я запустил, он ушел.
With your two selves, spoiler alert. You know, that part was kind of what drove a lot of the narrative there. Once we knew that, and once we also knew that we wanted to start planting some seeds for something that you people will see later on today, basically that's where a lot of the ties for like the new enemies and some of that extra spice came from. And you know, we've always had like the eye towards like, okay, well, what does Zariman mean? You know, the blocking of the void and what is on the other side, and you know, all of that has been kind of.
Только не спасение и не это. Главное оборона, защита.
The next one or the next couple. That's kind of how. So yeah, that's kind of how it inspired it. We did know that it had been a while since we have made a game mode. Since we did like Jupiter rework, I think it was the last time we did Disruption.
Yep.
Right. So that I don't know how long it's been since that, but it's been a while since we've done a new game mode, so.
So we did 3.
In classic fashion, we did 3 at one go. So yeah, that's honestly like sometimes, you know, as players and I think as developers, don't fall into that. You know, you don't want to do the same sort of thing all the time, and I think that for us. That was interesting.
Миссия Алена называется.
Алена. New stuff, going back and reworking really old systems. That was kind of the drive there, while planting the seeds for stuff that will be seen later
that we might show. Might not have an answer to this question, but is there anything that we worked on for Angel of Zeraman that didn't end up shipping because it didn't feel right or it just didn't have a place?
I mean, there's like whenever we're ideating, there's always like a lot of things. At some point, it was going to be 4 game modes instead of 3.
Oh, of course. Why not?
You know, there was that. At some point, the incarnate weapons was a bigger thing that might be at some point, but you know, there's always like a lot of. If every idea you come up with, probably you're not coming up with enough ideas. So generally, a lot of the things that we come up with end up like maybe later.
Yeah, I mean, this show.
Когда поедем
купить новый комп. Backlog, a good idea.
Exactly. Speaking of incarnate weapons, Kaz,
ты можешь себе посмотреть сборки готовые уже есть в интернете.
Lore as well behind these incarnate weapons.
С распечатками, с всякими готовые сборки есть AMD, Intel.
So a little bit of history.
Есть уже люди, есть эти.
They originally started out as just security weapons, like Tenno style security weapons, but they did a couple concepts and they didn't really feel very special. So then we decided to kind of pivot there and change them to more of like a ceremonial look, and kind of went a step further with that to make them come from like maybe specific trees or something like that. They're really special pieces of wood that they made into weapons, so they're too fancy to use.
No one touches this tree except to make a weapon.
Yeah, like it's supposed to travel with them as sort of remembrance of home when they go to the new system and all of that sort of thing. And when I was doing the incarnate mods, they have a little bit of like an animal influence to each of them. The tonfas, the
восьмиядерный комп.
Are actually like a big horse shape if you look at it.
I didn't even realize that.
And the dual pistols from the shotgun, they're like a little like alien dog thing that's like ready to jump.
I'm learning things today. I had no idea.
Yeah, these were really just a blast to work on. They really, the style of them, because they're ceremonial, it kind of feeds into kind of a comfort zone for me with flowing lines and really elegant shapes and stuff. So it was just a great project.
Он не разбирается.
I remember one of the references for like the backstory was a GIF from a Sylvester Stallone movie. The one where he uses like cursing tickets to wipe his ass with. I can't remember what it's called. You know which one? I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, they had a museum of violence. Right? It was a museum of violence, and that was part of the reference.
I did not think that was about to come out of your mouth. I'm so sorry.
Под Ryzen другая мать идет.
Ryzen, да, под Intel.
Другой сокет.
Ну, в зависимости от того, что он хочет.
Ну вот именно, кто знает, что он хочет.
Unrelated to that.
И на какую сумму рассчитывать.
Да, и самое главное, это на какую сумму
Let's talk a
надо.
little bit about Gyre. You did do recently a Gyre kind of Q&A with the community.
Это самый главный вопрос, на какую сумму рассчитывать.
Just kind of, again, what was the design process, inspiration, and struggles that you had created?
Который в магазине работает.
Yeah, so Warframe generally starts
Спрашивают, на какую сумму вы рассчитываете?
generally from like 2 different places. Either, well, maybe 3. First Sylvester
It was Van Damme this time, wasn't it?
Then Arnie. So generally they start either someone has an idea for a theme that they want, you know. Someone will come up with something that no one has ever said, maybe werewolf frame, for example.
Who would do that?
No one has ever mentioned that one.
No, never.
So someone will come up with that, and then we'll kind of look for ideas for the theme. Others come from like a mechanic. So for example, Nidus came up, like at first the idea was something that pulls them together and you hit them. And that's the initial mechanic, and that's where Nidus kind of got started, right? So it was a more mechanical origin. And then there's the last one, which is the folder of magic. We have
a backlog.
One concept artist, Keith Thompson, that just comes up with the craziest ideas.
Got a brain that one.
Yeah, he got all sorts of crazy things that he's done. And we have a folder literally with like different frame ideas that he's just like drawn over the years. Does an illustration, puts a little like text to what and just drops them there. And, basically, every now and then when you frame, I'll open that folder and I'll just start looking around and be like, oh, this one's cool. And then I just kind of start thinking, how could they work? What could they do? And if I find that one of them excites me, then that's kind of the one I roll with. So that's actually how it came to be. I love the idea of the skirt expanding with the electricity. I thought it was really cool. Sometimes it's hard. When you've been doing this for a while, sometimes it's hard to not stop yourself, and you can see ahead that there's going to be problems. And immediately I saw the skirt and I was like, this is never going to expand.
That's going to be a problem.
Clip over place, you're going to slide and it's going to go to that. I was like, no, I'm still going to do it.
We're going to make it happen.
So sometimes you just kind of have to say screw it and go with it, even if it's not
someone else's problem.
And fortunately, that I'm talking about the magic of a team. I didn't solve that problem. Jeremy came up with an idea. Jeremy was an FX master, and he came up with the idea of. It was again a group thing. First, part of the idea was when they did the character modeling, instead of making the full skirt as it was initially designed, they cut a part on the front and a part on the side so it could actually open. Once that was in there, it was still a problem. But then he came up with the idea, okay, when you activate the ability, it opens upwards, so it's kind of like becomes almost wings, and that solved it. And that was one of those things that I'm very thankful that he figured out, because I was going to make her basically not be able to slide.
Y'all like parkour? No, we die. No.
So I'm glad that he saw that. So yeah, it's kind of that process of like finding that seed of an idea, which again can be a theme, a mechanic, or a visual, and then from there kind of start spinning.
Кстати, баф я даю на 36%
the ideas and finding, to me, the most important thing with a frame at the end is that it plays different to the others.
Has a sense of uniqueness, and it's not just.
So how are you going to do an electricity frame when you're in a bolt? There's many different things that you have to do to kind of separate.
Главное, чтобы он кубол не ставил.
Auditories, all of those things kind of need to split so that it works and stands on its own. And it's kind of the trials and tribulations of coming up with frame number 49.
Yeah. We got lots more in store, my friends. Tune in to Tenno Live.
Будет новый Warframe, покажите уже его, но сколько может висеть.
And we're actually talking about this organically behind the scenes about something you might see later on, spoilers. But we often get the question when we see, especially with the incarnate weapons. I remember seeing the question of, how do I even hold that? Like, that is a weapon is so wild looking. Like, where do I put my hands? And is that actually something that
надо расстраиваться. Все можно найти в интернете, это не проблема, Nintendo.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of where we start.
Ты живешь не в 98-м году, когда была проблема. И то в 98-м это не было.
For example, the Tampas, they have to fit in the hand a certain way, and they kind of glide along the side of the arm.
А сейчас можно прям сидя дома собирать.
They spin around in certain ways. I kind of broke a rule there with a loop that goes over the top. So if it spins this way, it clips. But, I mean, it was too cool. I could not do it. But we do try to respect like, the hand positions for all the weapons as much as we can, just so that riggers don't hate us and animators don't hate us.
Я уверен, такие такое есть.
It's pointy in every direction.
Пишешь, чем тупее вопрос, тем лучше. Гугли. Собирать, хочу собрать компьютер, AMD или Intel.
display, so you
Да
can
на AMD нету смысла собирать, они греются.
Live is gonna debut
Не, а
У них вот отводка сильно высокая.
the DeVry Paradox Quest. They're also gonna get
AMD.
an experience with
Не
the
знаю, что
amphitheater that will open at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
У тебя FX.
We're gonna peel back the curtain.
У меня AMD FX.
Give people a little bit of
Voice
little
один.
tips as to what they might experience later. Obviously,
FX.
they've seen trailers and such, but
Ну, я знаю, у меня же такой же был.
Да, 8120.
Can you peel back the curtain a little bit
еще
and
третий
see the
сок.
design process?
Нет, у меня 8150 был.
У меня 8120.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
What?
I mean, people that have been watching us do TennoCon for the last couple of years have obviously seen
У меня
DeVry
сокет
teases.
8120.
So it's not a new idea. But
Восьмиядерный.
what we have had to
У
do
меня
in the
AMD
last
сокет еще.
bunch of months and
меня
over
древний
the years
комп.
is actually figure out how we're going to make it. You know?
У меня сейчас
So
Intel
the
i7 тоже
amphitheater,
8-ядерка, 4-поточная.
was kind of step one for us in terms of
За 3
prototyping
копейки
how we were going to
получилось
make it
вырвать.
work. We had an idea of what we wanted to do.
NVIDIA охота 4
You know,
гиговую
but, you
удачно.
know, an idea on
Да,
paper is
перед тем,
different
как
than,
подорожало.
yeah, than actually making it. And so we had to do a lot of experimentation, a lot of R&D.
У меня сейчас
There's a bunch of stuff that
Discord
had already
просто
been done,
включен, стрим,
from those
Twitch,
teasers and those trailers
YouTube, у меня
that kind of
куча,
established
потому у меня
a bit of a
фриз.
baseline for us. So we
Если
weren't
я
starting from
вырублю это
scratch,
все, у меня
but
будет лучше работать.
the amphitheater level was the first production kind of island that we
Потому что мы
made for
смотрим
so, there's a lot of stuff that we did wrong, you know, like in the process you always, you know, break a few eggs, as they say.
Oh, of course.
And try to make sense of what you're doing while you're doing it, figuring out what works, what doesn't work.
AMD хороший.
I think
AMD
one of the things that has been really
тоже
great is that
сильные.
the concept art
Они
team
дешевле
that we
стоят.
have supporting us did so many great concepts for that stuff.
Which you're gonna see in the art panel. Continue.
Awesome. And so yeah, it gave us a really
Это
great
дело,
place to start from.
это дело не в том,
And
дело
then
там.
we just kind of built on that. It was
Даркере
a
не
really
помню.
awesome team
Но
of
в
people
любом случае
working
комп
on
видите.
creating the bits and pieces of
Это
that.
дело вкуса.
And
Тебе
we learned a
нравится
lot of
какая
really great
фирма,
lessons
Intel
that we
или
were able to
AMD.
apply
И на
to
какую-то сумму
the
денег
rest
рассчитывать.
of the DeVry space that we'll see later on. And beyond
У тебя
today,
есть деньги
there's
взять
lessons
дороже,
that we've
возьмешь
learned from
дороже.
doing that. So,
И
you
нет,
know,
не в
it's
этом
really
дело.
kind of cool.
Приз.
It's an
Intel
ongoing
плохой
process.
или
You're
AMD
always learning
плохая.
new stuff. But the
Та фирма и
amphitheater
та фирма
was
хорошая.
that testing ground. And I think it turned out really great. Like
Это не
I'm
имеет значения,
really
откуда руки
happy
растут. Если у
and
тебя
pretty
есть
excited
деньги.
to see what people are
И
going to think
голова.
of it because we
Чё,
haven't done
Райдер,
anything
давай.
like this in Warframe.
Блядь,
You know,
Саша, блядь, ты
I
опять
think that's
начинаешь,
really
блядь,
great for us to,
пытаешься
if we can be
кого-то
excited,
обосрать
fans are
здесь.
going to be excited. So
Райдер.
that's super important. So I
Хочешь
hope
казаться
that people are
сильно
gonna be
пиздец
excited as we
умным
actually-
здесь?
actually show it to them.
Я с тобой уже ругался из-за этого. Не надо, блядь, здесь умничать, понимаешь?
I get that feeling.
Я тебя прошу, не надо, блядь, выебываться
So
здесь и
different, and
умничать.
we're going so.
Окей, блядь?
I mean, I can barely understand time travel, but I'm like, yeah, paradox. Let's do it. Let's make it real and crazy.
Мне не 15 лет, блядь,
Visually,
чтобы
it's
я буду с
crazy,
тобой
and
что-то тебе
everything
сейчас
in
объяснять,
between.
блядь.
Little.
Я,
It's gonna be
блядь,
a
вам
challenge.
сказал уже давно,
Like there's
блядь.
stuff
Я здесь
that
никого,
we've
блядь,
talked
не
about
держу
wanting
на
to
стриме,
do
блядь.
and the
Никого
goals
не
that we
прошу,
have
блядь, сюда
for
приходить.
the
Я, блядь, не собираюсь терпеть, блядь, вот это, блядь,
there's some challenging stuff there
выебывание,
for us to
блядь,
consider and try to
Не
you know,
думаешь,
come
ты,
together
блядь,
and try to
самый
figure out how
умный
we're going
здесь
to do it.
собрался, понимаешь, блядь?
I know we're going to pull it off, and I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Like I think it'll
Я,
be a
блядь, с тобой
nice,
тебе еще раз говорю,
you
я не
know,
заставляю
a nice
тебя со мной
refresher
дружить,
for
блядь.
people who are used to
Приходить делать мне одолжение на стриме,
Yeah,
Вот
it's
не
always
надо,
fun
блядь, вот
with
это вот.
Warframe, like, we've
Я
been
не
working on
просил
this
тебе,
game, the same game, for a very long
бля,
time,
показывать,
and when
бля,
we
кто
get a chance
какого
to
здесь,
reinvent
кто-то что-то
something in
знает.
some way, it's refreshing for the dev team too. Like it's so much fun to work in these new styles. Like, oh man, the Void Angel stuff. The
Я
DDR
Крису
stuff,
тоже не
it's just-
собираюсь объяснять,
it's
потому
so
что, бля,
much
я ему
fun
уже
to
и так,
make
бля, 2
things
недели
like that.
объяснял.
Speaking of new
Зависит от
things,
того, сколько у
not
тебя
spoiling
денег
too much,
есть.
but we know
Что
horses
здесь
exist
непонятного?
in DeVry. They are a thing. We'll learn more about them
У
later.
тебя есть $1000, приходишь,
but
блядь, в
honestly,
магазин, говоришь, у меня есть
one has to
$1000,
ride
блядь,
a
соберите
horse.
мне
There are
кол.
many
Все,
ways that one
пиздец,
can
блядь.
ride a horse.
Много текста,
But
блядь,
perhaps
2
a
недели,
saddle
блядь, одно и то же самое, блядь.
Yep.
Ну реально
Like
заебал,
trying
блядь.
to create a saddle
Крис, бля, ну без обид, бля, ну реально напрягает, бля. Одно и то же самое, все разговоры, блядь, каждый день одно и то же.
Everything is weird. It's not an accurate representation of the horse at all.
Yeah, they also like
Xbox,
wiggle a lot
Xbox,
and like.
PlayStation.
So there's only like I had to find some shapes that would
Как взял деньги, пошел купил и все, блядь. Много текста.
Something that's kind of back heavy that the players are gonna see more as well.
Давай сейчас, блядь, тут будем, блядь, мериться, блядь, пиписьками, понимаешь, блядь. AMD, Intel, блядь, да похуй, блядь, какой, блядь, у тебя.
Back to Matt a little bit. While we're not gonna see it today,
работает, не работает, играешь.
We'll have a form of wildlife. There is some wildlife you will see, but what you won't see, but will exist, are fish. I got a lot of questions about fish. I don't know what it is. People love fish. I love fish, but
that made great.
Samskate, yeah, fish floofs. Designing a paradoxal, fractal wildlife and fish.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? Continue to defend. You will be rewarded for your bravery.
Да, я после этой миссии, наверное, буду. Да мне надоело. Меня, бля, разнервировал, блядь. Райдер, как всегда, блядь, меня, блядь, нервирует в последнее время. Вечно, блядь, умничает. Умник, блин. Руки из жопы, руки не из жопы, блин. Каждый человек себе сам решает, что ему покупать, блин. Intel или AMD. И может собрать или не может собрать. И в этом дело, блин. Из жопы или не из жопы, блин. Какая разница, блин. У тебя есть деньги, пошел купил, блин, что тебя интересует. Давай, блядь, будем друг друга обсирать, блядь. Из жопы или не из жопы. В чем тут это? Надо прийти, блядь, обосрать настроение всем, блядь, или что, блядь? Вот ты, блядь, такой умный, блядь, стал, блядь, за последние года, блядь. Великий, блядь, умник, блядь. О, ну так если у тебя не из жопы, так собирай себе комп, если у тебя не из жопы. Откуда они у тебя?
Move and strike. We have to win this.
Я рассказывал Крису о том, что сейчас не проблема собрать компьютер. Все зависит от денег, которые у тебя есть, возможностей и желания. Все. Нет никакой проблемы здесь. Совершенно нет никакой проблемы. Вводится в Гугле, есть куча сайтов. Вот про это я говорил. Вот и все. Проблемы нет никакой. Очень долго оно закачает.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
Да, я не вижу смысла дальше. Лян, если ты здесь, спасибо тебе. Блин, извиняйте, пацаны, что меня бомбит. Ну, блин, ну... Я не могу вот так реагировать по-другому, блин. Зачем, Райдер, ты со мной общаешься? Зачем ты со мной дружишь, блин? Зачем ты приходишь на стримы тогда? Зачем мы с тобой вообще общаемся, дружим? Если мы с тобой уже не можем нормально общаться. Значит, мы не должны с тобой общаться. Кому это? Такая дружба должна прекращаться, и мы должны перестать общаться с ним. Самое что с Кратосом было. Чем портить друг другу нервы, если мы не можем общаться нормально? Такую дружбу надо прекращать, и все, и не общаться. Все, народ, давайте, извиняйте. Коля, спасибо за игру. Еще раз. До встречи. Я не знаю, я не вижу смысла смотреть Теннокон дальше. Я лично. Ну, потому что, ну, там 12 часов оно аж начинается Дувири, а я тупо пытался что-то смотреть, ну. Там Мейсон заходил, Коля заходил. Пару людей. А смысл смотреть, если вам это не интересно? Крис вообще зашел, он вообще другой вопрос интересует. Я как будто, знаешь, я сижу тут, я специалист по сборке компов, понимаешь? В 21 веке я ж не консультант по сборке компов Nintendo. Естественно, меня начинает бомбить, злить это. Я здесь не для этого сижу, чтобы тебе объяснять, какой... Тебе должен сам знать, какой тебе комп надо собирать. Я здесь вообще по другой причине. По причине Теннокона изначально.
Operator, were you visualizing a bloody battle? Me too.
О, Колян. Да, иду, наверное, Dead Island проходить дальше. Ну, Рептайд. Ну, не... Да, или этот, Фир, может. Да, блин, у меня настроение испортилось. Самое главное, что я, блядь, ну, может быть, я и сам в этом виноват, блядь. Меня так легко, блядь, вывести из себя, это просто трезет. В последнее время. Ну, блин, меня реально напрягают такие вопросы, блядь. Блин, вот. Я уже, блядь, не раз это объяснял, блядь. И Фаре, бля, и всем, что я, блядь, не врач-психиатр, бля, и не травматолог, бля, и не сборщик компьютеров, блядь, консультант, блядь, какой комп собрать, бля, и так далее, блядь. Это реально же бесит, блядь. Ну, блядь, мы тут собрались, блядь, Warframe обсудить, блядь, и на комп посмотреть, или, блядь, собрать компьютер Nintendo. Бля, ну как я должен, блядь, ну нормально реагировать? Не знаю, я ненормально реагирую. Все, бля, извиняйте, пацаны, давайте. Коля, сорян, не знаю.